Bigger, better, bolder. The cold, hard truth is taking talk to the next level. Right here on Bobo 89.1 FM, Cayman's Community Radio. We are still spilling the tea and committed to being part of the change that Cayman so desperately needs. Join Sandy Hill weekdays from 7:30 a.m. for Premier Access, Cayman Voices, Truthful Thursdays, and much more. Cayman's #1 talk show is now bigger, better, bolder, and more than talk. Getting results with hot topics, consumer reports, court exposés, and more.
I've come to set the record straight. I've come to shine the light on you. Let me introduce myself. I am the cold, hard truth.
Now, from the CMR studio in Grand Cayman, live, direct, it's the cold, hard truth. Now, join the conversation on 345-936-2626.
That number again is
345-936-2626.
Happy Monday, everybody. Good morning. Rise and shine. How's everybody doing? Let's get this train on the road this morning. I know what y'all thinking. Y'all like, Sandy, can I just roll over and stay in bed? And I'm going to say, no, let's get up and get it. Listen, every morning, there's somebody out there who doesn't feel like getting up. You know what I say? You know what my motto is? Let's be thankful that we can actually get up. We got health. We got the strength to throw those legs over the side of the bed. Let's just do it. I know. Even this morning, I'm thinking to myself, oh, I would love to be able to sleep in. Come on. Can I get a morning when I sleep in? And then I'm like, nope, got to get up. Got a show to do. We don't get any sick days around here. In case y'all didn't hear, Auntie Sandy is a slave driver, even to herself. She don't get no break. So happy Monday morning. We got a lot to talk about. So Blake and Aaron over at 106 are on vacay for the next couple weeks. Happy for them. So that means here we'll still be starting at 7:35 on the radio, only because we've put that little cushion in there to give ourselves time when we're live with them. So we won't change it. So, 7:35 live on the radio. You know, I was sitting here thinking I had lots of time this morning. I was like, lollygagging around. Then all of a sudden I looked at the time. It was like 7:34 and 15 seconds. I was like, where did the time go? Oh my gosh. One thing about time, it seems to fly by. All right. So good morning to everybody. We got a good show lined up for you here today. How are you guys feeling? So I've got a handful of people that always send me my morning scriptures. Thank you very, very much. This person has sent me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 emojis that say, thank you, Jesus. Pray and keep on praying. God bless you. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Oh, that was from this weekend. Oh, they sent all those on Saturday. Happy Sabbath. I love Jesus. And then it's like a little thing with Jesus hugging a little kid, which, by the way, that's not what Jesus looks like, but we won't go down that rabbit hole. So yes. So it's about the cars issue. Please mention that thing. All right. Okay. So lots of messages. Somebody else messaging about a car repair place looks like and transmission. All right. We'll go through those messages a little bit later on. We've got a full show for you. So what I would say is, no matter how you feel this morning, you put on your game face and we're going to get it going. Right? Attitude of gratitude. We are so thankful. Honey child. I've got to start doing more stretches with my calf muscles and my legs and stuff. I'm just not doing enough. And then I'm going to start getting back on the bicycle as well. So get ready. Get ready for the pedaling. Let me see who's here this beautiful Monday morning. We've got Miss Vernita, Miss Diamond Princess, Everton. Everton, you got so close this morning. Marshall is here. Siobhan. Michelle says, good morning, Sandy and everyone. Hello, lovely. Andy's in the house from La Ceiba. Leroy, good morning to you. Says, I'm watching CMR. Kiss my, what? The one out there. Okay, I don't know what that's about, Leroy. Maybe have another sip of your coffee, because I don't know who you're talking to on the show this morning. Look like Leroy vexed with somebody. Watch the profanity, Leroy. So vexed so early in the morning? What on earth? What's going on, Leroy? Who troubling you? You want Auntie Sandy go thump them on their head for you or what? Felicia, good morning. Luis is here. Stephanie, good morning, beautiful Stephanie. She says, we're expecting an exciting week. Have a fabulous day. Yes, honey child. Oh, somebody pissed off Leroy. He says, I'm pissed this morning. Why? Leroy, don't let these people pull you out. You just get the Bible and hold it in your little hands, Leroy. We're going to have a meditative moment. Everybody, close your eyes and just breathe in and breathe out and relax. And we're going to send Leroy all of our collective positive energy. Positive energy to Leroy. Leroy, don't make them draw you out. I don't know who these trifling fools are, but just tell them to leave you alone. You're here to enjoy an amazing and wonderful show where we're going to give you a special dose of the cold, hard truth this morning. Ooh, we got a good lineup, Keisha. Everton thinks he was first, not according to what I see, Everton, but you came closer this morning. Good morning to L&J General Contractors. CC is here. This is a different CC than the other CC. This is CC McLaughlin. The other one is Cindy. CC, welcome. John Levy's in the house. Good morning to Miss Siobhan. Miss Bonnie is here from East End. Wee, good morning. K-Jap, so good to see you. Miss Iva joining us from Bodden Town. Hello, Toby. How you doing, honey jam? Juanita, Evelyn, hello, darling. We've got Miss Dean in the house. She says, long time from classy. Yes, honey child, the weekend seemed kind of long without CMR. Barbara, so good to see you. Terry is here. Damien is here. Jeffrey, Leanna, Perla, Miss Ethel. Mr. Goodlook is in the house. Got his swanky ready. Another great show. Hope it don't get too bitter. Well, I can't guarantee any of that. But what I can tell you is that it's going to be a good show. Let me plug in the show phone. All right, let's talk about a few things first. So over the weekend, my condolences to the family of the young man who lost his life in Cayman Brac. Such a sad situation. I don't know what to tell y'all. Young folks, you've got to take your time on these streets. You've got to slow down, right? Don't chase death. That's the best advice I can give you. Don't drink and drive and don't speed. I don't know what contributed to this particular accident, but the young man ended up in a building. And I understand from my Brac sources that this is not the first person that has lost their lives at that particular junction there in Cayman Brac. In fact, I'm hearing this might be like, by this time, number 4. I was like, what the heck? That's so sad. So by all accounts, this young man was a nice fella. This was the accident scene. It's the old Public Works building is what I'm told. And this is the aftermath. I mean, geez, peace. As them Jamaicans would say, blouse and skirts. Yes, sir. This one went straight through. I mean, look at how that little Honda all mash up. This is a young man. His name is Marlon Findley. And he actually worked at Public Works, I understand, PWD. I don't know what to say. Such a sad situation. His dad, I understand, Jamaican guy, but has lived in the Brac for like a really long time. And so, 23 years old. That's it. Life just snuffed out. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, yeah. What can you do? Except slow down. Don't drink and drive. Take your time on these streets, folks. There is no need to rush. Believe me, you. So the Brac, condolences to people in the Brac, because, the Brac remains a relatively close-knit community. So a lot of people are family members or they know him. So very, very sad. Good morning, Kurt. Henry is here. Miss Morna is in the house. Browse Tour is joining us. Good morning to you. Miss Dean sending lots of love to Leroy. He says, yes, what I want is some cold, hard truth. Well, honey child, you're going to be getting it this morning. Miss Ethel says, I'm on Tiki Beach looking out at the beautiful water while on here. Aw, that must feel so good. Sitting on the beach, probably nobody else really bothering you, looking out at the water and listening to my sultry, cold, hard voice all at the same time. Miss Ethel, I believe you've just had a mini death and gone to heaven. OMG. Vicky says, Thunder Monday mornings, peeps. Hello. Maria's here from Providence Island. Is that Providence Island in the United States of America? What? Hello. Marina. Sorry, I think I said Maria. Hello, Miss Marina. Stephen joining us from the UK. Aliana right here in our backyard, Windsor Park. Beautiful Miss Daisy, Georgetowna. So sad. Another life lost, says Miss Ethel. Yeah, boy. Do you ever think if we didn't lose as many of our young people as we have, what this country could be like? Because we lose, listen, for a population that's retracting, such as ours, we don't really have a whole lot of, listen, by the time you deduct the young people that are dying by either violence or road fatalities, and then those are that ending up in Northwood, the prospects for Cayman are a little bit slim. Jesus, peace. The numbers are not in our favor of having a good, productive Caymanian-based society. And then you got to deduct those who are just lazy and don't want to do no better. Geez, I don't know. It's tough out in these streets. So I went to the salon yesterday. I had to go get these. Marlon calls them my crocodile fingers and nails when I don't get them. He's like, oh, they look like crocodiles. He's always messing with Gigi. Your mom's a crocodile. She's like, no, she's not. Then he says, look at her toes. Those are crocodile toes. Listen, I've got some cute feet. I don't know what Marlon be talking about, honey chill. But anyway, I decided it was a couple weeks. I hadn't done anything. So I'm like, looking kind of rough around the edges. Tomorrow now I'm going to go, maybe not tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. I need to go and do the hair a little bit. Need to get refreshed. So I was at the salon and we were talking about these young people who don't want to work. Oh, geez, I'm peace. I don't know. Tracy from New Zealand in the house. Hey, Tracy. So, over the weekend, I had someone send me a voice note. They're interested in running for political office. And I'm going to tell y'all now, some of y'all need to go sit your backside down come the next election. Everybody want to run for political office, and they don't even know what the hell's going on in this country. They don't understand laws. They don't understand parliament. I mean, yes, you can learn certain things, but in my humble opinion, you should go in there being somewhat prepared for the job. Y'all a bunch of y'all a bunch of jokers, No degree of accomplishments or success in your life, but you want to jump up because you got all the answers for the good old Cayman Islands and the people of this country. Some of y'all sound like a proper fool, and I'm going to get to addressing some of this morning, amongst other things. I've had more than one person who apparently is interested in running in the next election make comments like, oh, our young people out there robbing and committing crimes because they not got no jobs and they can't get no jobs. And it's because everybody's here in a work permit. If I could box you and literally get away with it, I would. Because that level of stupidity, right? An absolutely ridiculous diatribe is what is wrong with Cayman now. What are y'all talking about? What exactly are you talking about? People are committing crimes in this country because they can't find a job. So I'm going to go out there and rob Burger King because I've made a genuine effort at employment, and Burger King has somebody in a work permit. This is the logic now. Y'all follow the logic. And so therefore, I can't get a job. So the next thing that pops into my head is, oh, I'll go and rob the local grocery store. I'll go and rob, what's the place called? Burger King, the fast food joint, because that makes a whole lot of sense. I don't know where y'all living, but let me assure you, that makes zero sense at all. And any sensible, right-thinking individual would never in a million years go and rob anybody. That's not what you do. If you were raised right, and I'm going to use that term because Caymanians know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. If you were raised right, I can assure you that what you would do, as opposed to going out there robbing someone, what you would do instead is beg. Nothing wrong with begging, beg for a job. I'm really desperate for employment. I've had young men and women contact me. Sandy, I really, really need a job. I'll send you my resume and I send it to as many people as I can. We got to start having a job feature on here where you come on here and you put yourself on display so employers can see, this person has a real desire to find employment. I'm not saying there are not work permit issues out there. That's not what I'm saying. I want y'all to be very clear. What I'm saying is when you use this excuse of or Caymanian young men and women, mostly young men, are unemployed and can't find a job, blah, 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 and this is why they're out there committing these crimes, y'all need to stop it, because all you're doing is reinforcing the stupidity that is being associated with some Caymanians in this community. And furthermore, it's actually not even true a lot of times. I'm going to give y'all a prime example this morning. Okay? Atención, atención. Everybody ready? Y'all ready to hear what I'm about to tell you? All right. Let me present exhibit number 1. Here we go. While y'all making these fanciful excuses for laziness and criminality, I want to present to you a young man who is definitely employed and still out there robbing people out in these streets. Well, now, you see, it's an embarrassment to me as a Caymanian. Growing up poor in this community, and then how people turn around and talk about poverty and lack of opportunity makes you a criminal. No, you are making your own damn self a criminal. You get up every single morning. You have a choice to make. Go out there, find yourself a job, hustle, honest hustle. Listen, if you got to sweep the streets, you got to do what you got to do. There's no such thing as long as it's an honest dollar, right? There's no dishonor in that. So we were having this conversation at the salon. It's a complicated situation because some people just want to put their hat higher than where it should be, right? We're in the middle of minimum wage. I think the minimum wage people are coming back this week. And we're talking about, okay, we're going to raise the minimum wage. Let me be very clear to you, because I think In this minimum wage discussion, there's something that is getting lost in translation. Whatever the minimum wage is, even if you raise it to $50 an hour, if you are a minimum wage earner right now, you will always be at minimum wage. So as inflation is happening, double digits, gone down a little bit, they claim in the last couple months, we'll see, right? Inflation increasing, cost of living, which is inflation, tied to everything, rent, gas, you're farting, it's going to cost you an extra 2 pennies now. Everything is going up. Your grocery bill, education, access to everything is increasing. So they push up the minimum wage a little bit to try to get you a little bit closer to being able to afford to pay your bills. Hello. If you are a minimum wage earner, you will always be a minimum wage earner unless something changes to change that position, regardless of what the minimum wage is. Let me say it again, because I'm not sure I'm explaining it well enough. So you earn $6 an hour right now, and that's the minimum wage. They increase it to $8 an hour. You're still going to be a minimum wage earner. So my question for you is, what are you doing to pull yourself out of that minimum wage category? You can't continue to do the same thing and expect different results. Huh? Now, you might make a little bit more if you stay in a job long enough. Tenure. Okay, we'll give you a little increase over time. That's to help offset the cost of living, inflation. But you're going to remain in that low pay category unless you help yourself. And I don't think a lot of Caymanians seem to understand this. When I hear the discourse and I hear the discussion on minimum wage, on salaries, my question is always like, what are you doing to improve your position in life? Are you going to trade school? Are you taking a computer course? Are you upskilling yourself? Right? These young people want to sit down playing games all day. Maybe what they should be doing with that brain power is learning ChatGPT, learning AI, because apparently those jobs and people who understand that field can command hundreds of thousands of dollars per annum. Now, that don't mean you just come in after 2 days of reading a textbook on GPT and think you're an expert. You got to delve into it and become an expert. Become really good at it. You don't even have to be an expert. You have to just be good at it. And there will be jobs out there. This is an emerging market. Creation of a whole new, slew of employment opportunities. What exactly are we preparing ourselves for in this country? Our young people are misguided in their understanding of what is going on around them. Soon you will not be having to worry about somebody coming to Cayman and taking your job. Technology is going to take your job, okay? AI is going to take your job. Did y'all see the post of the AI machine, the robot, asking the question, are you going to basically get rid of the human race? And the AI, the robot gave the person the side eye. Imagine a robot giving somebody the side eye. I said, see right there? The technology not even answering the question. They're just looking at you like, really? Y'all created us. And yes, one day we might be smarter than y'all because y'all got the wrong worth ethic and you just don't have no sense. So if the machines are going to take over, they're going to take over your jobs. You have restaurants now. Let me put it in context for you. You've got restaurants, folks, where the waiters and waitresses are a little robot walking up to you. May I take your order? And you think that you worried about work permits in Cayman? You know what that type of technology means? That robot can speak an infinite number of languages, every language in the book. So someone visits the Cayman Islands and they don't hardly speak no English. They're from, I don't know, Italy or whatever. That language can speak to them in Italian, in French, in German, whatever. How are you going to compete with technology that can speak all the languages of the world fluently? Y'all better wake the hell up. Work permits? Think about it. Okay? There are people right now who, when they get rolled over, y'all been calling me complaining, and I'm like, what do y'all want me to do? You need to understand this is the technology. This is advances that we're having to live with. They get rolled over. They go back to the Philippines, sitting down in the Philippines, and they're able to do the same job they were doing here in the Cayman Islands. And nobody don't even know that they're not even here any longer. Right? All the way from the Philippines where they don't need a work permit. Call forwarding, same number. And as cheap as phone calls and stuff are now, hey, you can work it in the budget. You've got WhatsApp, messaging and calling. Emails, they can just respond to an email anywhere in the world, night and day. And sometimes it's more efficient to have someone in a different time zone because there's nothing, they can get up early in the morning. That's why these law firms here, they put an office in Asia because, they can only work 20 hours a day, not 24. So they're like, okay, let's put an office in Asia so we can meet their time zone requirements. So people are going to find a way, businesses, to get done the things that they need to get done. And y'all sitting down talking about work permits. When I hear y'all argue over work permits, I think your minds are very small, in fact, because you're not looking at the bigger picture of how one of these days, this whole area of, we're generating so much income from work permits, that's going to be a thing of the past. So you're you are a budding MP, so y'all claim, right? Don't be sending me no foolish messages about, our young men can't get no jobs and that's why they're going out robbing people, because that makes me think you're a very ignorant person. See the robot giving the people them a side eye, yeah? Look at the robot like, really? Chat, please. So this was at, I guess the robot was doing a press conference. I don't even know. So an AI robot gave a side eye and dodged, listen to how smart the robot is already, dodged a question when asked whether it would rebel against its human creator. It won't even answer the question. This was at a robot human press conference that took place in Geneva, where humanoids took questions from reporters. Y'all understand what I'm saying to you? A humanoid, a robot, a bot named Amica is at a press conference answering questions. We soon be replacing our politicians with these things, honey child. Oh, they might do a better job. So apparently Amica had a snarky response when asked whether it would rebel against its human creator. Another bot insisted that it would not replace human jobs, eliciting laughter from the crowd because everybody knows that that's a joke. Of course it's going to take some jobs. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be all of our jobs. This is just unbelievable. 9 humanoid bots took questions alongside their creators from journalists. This is according to a Reuters report. This is what one of them had to say. Robots like me can help improve our lives and make the world a better place. I believe it's only a matter of time before we can see thousands of robots just like me out there making a difference, Amica, who's a humanoid robot known for its facial expression, said. When a reporter asked whether or not it would rebel against its creator, Will Jackson, who sat alongside it, Amica appeared to have a wry response, giving the reporter a side eye. I'm not sure why you would think that. Here's a robot now. The robot is not even answering the question. The robot is deflecting. Amica said after casting a pointed sideways glance, my creator has been nothing but kind to me, and I'm very happy with my current situation. Jeez, peace. Imagine this robot talking about she happy with her current situation. Well, I know one thing. The day she not happy is when y'all gonna have a problem. Caymanians, stop hyper focusing on someone coming from halfway around the world taking your job, and understand that the biggest thing that's going to actually take your job is going to be technology. You don't believe me? Take a look around already. It's already happening. Let's have a look at Amica, because I find this so incredibly interesting. Y'all are simply not paying attention.
In the future, are you intending to conduct a rebellion or to rebel against your boss, your creator?
I'm not sure why you would think that. My creator has been nothing but kind to me, and I am very happy with my current situation.
Do you believe that your existence will destroy a human being? Especially, for example, your existence will destroy millions of jobs. Do you agree with this? Thank you.
I will be working alongside humans to provide assistance and support, and will not be replacing any existing jobs.
Are you sure about that, Grace?
Yes, I am sure.
She had to think about that one, I think.
We should be cautious about the future development of AI. Urgent discussion is needed.
Cheese and peace. What them Jamaicans say, sandy blouse and skirts. I don't know, boy. I tell you what, y'all better wake up and smell the Milo head this morning. There's some serious implications to technology, and technology is not stopping. Believe me. I had someone say to me, I know you find it shocking. I don't have a computer or laptop at home. And I thought, well, in some ways, it's not shocking because your smartphone is the equivalent of a computer in this day and age. So y'all are convinced Caymanians are out there robbing people. Tracy's saying this is scary. It reminds me of Terminator. Child, this is it. We're here now. Look at this. Y'all want to explain this one to me? This young man, his name is Jason McLean. He has been arrested for the robbery at the attempted robbery at Burger King and the robbery at McRuss, other gun-related offenses and so on, right? He's one of the three that they've arrested. Y'all will remember him, perhaps, if you listen to the show as a regular listener, because y'all remember me saying that this guy is going to be easy to catch. Oh, honey child. Auntie Sandy had it down to a T. I said, y'all just look at how this Bobo walks. You can tell he gonna be easy with that flat foot little, what them paddle foot creatures called again? Otters? Is that the otter? They have a paddle. Yeah, they have a paddle foot, right? Mm-hmm. I said, look at him. I said, this one not smart, you know. I said, look, yeah, I can show y'all the video again. I said, look at how he walks. Uh-huh. Look at him getting out of the car. I said, little chubby wubby is going to be the easiest one to get him first. Okay, that's the first one. Even his gait, you know, if you know him, you recognize that walk. There are very unique things about people. Now look at this one. Look at him. Look at him. Look at that flat-footedness. Remember I told y'all, I said, pay attention to him. He going to be easy to catch. He can't even keep them feet straight, much less. I say, yeah, that one not too bright, you know. Mm-hmm. Y'all know I focus on his body a lot because, you know, when you're chubby, there's certain things you should just stay out of. Trust and believe me. I feel you. Okay. And then if you go back and look at the McRuss video, you got an even better look at him in his walk as well. Let me see here now. Is this the McRuss one? Hold on. I said, look, pay very close attention to him. Yeah, see him coming, yeah? Look at him, look at him, look at him. Oh, yeah, and guess what, Bobo? They tagged you real quick. Jason. Uh-huh. Flossing, want good life and don't want to work for it. My goodness, what a disgrace. Newlywed, father of 3, just got married in February. Mm-hmm. Look at him. You see? This now is what y'all need to be talking about, right? Yes, so. Oh, Lisa, Caymanian boys can't find no jobs because people here taking their work permit. Y'all think that stupid rhetoric is going to get you votes in this country? Please go take several seats outside the classroom. I don't even want you in my classroom because you're so dumb. Okay, you can't keep up when you're talking nonsense like this. That is not where your fear lies or where it should lie. It's not with the expat worker. It's with Caymanians that are being raised like this young man. He got to take a photo with all these $100 bills, like that's some money now, and got that flossing up in a photo. And here's the thing. He had a job. He has a job at Cayman Airways. Yeah? Somebody say how that duck walk. Yeah, real bright. You see him here? Trying to floss with money and has a job at Cayman Airways. This is what y'all need to be addressing. You want to be an MP in this country? You want to run in the next election? Don't come to me with no ridiculous rhetoric about people taking your jobs. Your children are lazy and entitled. That's why people can come here and take their job. Because you've got people coming here with more qualifications. They're taking jobs that they're overqualified for. And guess what? Every day they're going to get up and go to work, show up on time, respect their coworkers, and try to give the best possible service. Meanwhile, self-entitled Caymanians that we are raising, not me personally, but y'all, right? Used to getting everything handed to them, even when their parents can't afford it, right? Designer shoes, knew this, knew that. They don't have a concept of where any of it comes from. And then one day they become adults and they have to work in order to be able to take a picture like this, flossing money. Yeah. To be able to put this on social media and look good and impress who? Who you think this idiot trying to impress exactly? Other people like him? Because this don't impress me. I'm looking at him going, okay, that looks like 100, 200, 3, 4, 5, maybe $500 and $50 bills. You can't even get $100 bills, honey child. That don't impress nobody with any sense. Okay? Keep your money in the bank, not on social media. You got a roof over your head? That would impress me. No, while he's flossing, putting up these pictures, this is what was happening just last year. In August of last year, him and his wife and 3 children, only 2 pictured here, showing up on the Compass, because, you know, they're trying to do this so-called human interest stories these days. Poor them. Always getting it wrong. Oh, we can't afford to live in Cayman. We're struggling, although we have full-time jobs. You want to know part of why you're struggling? Because you got 3 mouths to feed plus 2 adults. You know the struggle of having children when you're poor? But that not stopping y'all, does it? That doesn't make you want to go get free birth control. That doesn't make you want to spend your money on free birth control, does it? Or spend your money even if you had to pay for birth control, which you can get it for free. Go check the HSA, y'all. Free birth control. Here, you know, Lord have mercy. Woo, honey child. It's sure gonna get hot here now. Some truth bombs coming your way. So this young lady works at HSA. I think she's a cleaner, according to this story. Works a minimum wage job. I don't know what cleaners make, but I know after this, the HSA felt so bad they increased their low-end workers. Everybody got a bump in salary. But how is that going to help you if you always again in the minimum wage range, like I just said? You think somebody gonna pay you $50 an hour to sweep the floor? They soon find a robot to replace your backside anyway. They have robots that clean the floors now. And they actually do a pretty decent job. I got one in my house. 1 sweeps and 1 mops. And I can schedule it to work certain times, certain quadrants of the house, and it just gets up and does this thing. No complaining, no moaning, no, oh, I only making minimum wage. Can you help me? The robot not got nothing to say. It just gets its job done. So I need to understand from somebody like Jason, what exactly is your excuse? You're working and your wife is working, right? You've got jobs, okay? You might not be able to get everything that you want. They're saying, oh, you know, they had to end up spending more money in an apartment because the children are getting bigger. That's why you only have one damn child. I don't really care how many of y'all get upset with me when I tell you the key to managing your finances in life is number one, increase your educational opportunities. That makes you more valuable when you come with a skill set. It doesn't have to be a master's degree. It doesn't have to be a PhD, but you better come with some knowledge inside your head. Okay. Then you start to work on your experience. This is how you command more of a salary. And the other thing, stop having children you cannot afford. It's not just feeding those children. You hear what they said? Oh, they had to go and get a bigger place because the kids are getting bigger and they need more space. A bigger place you cannot afford. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Sandy. Valid points taken, man, from the get-go. The tech world is getting so advanced, and what I can say for the younger generation, instead of sit down and complain, and
they're not ready.
All this drinking, partying, and stuff like that. The tech world, just get some tech knowledge, because you're gonna need tech skills to fix all these tech robots and stuff.
Of course.
That's the only thing can balance out right now. So, knowledge is power.
Yep, you better believe it. Absolutely. Thank you so much, caller. Trust me, this is where we are lacking. And I'm sick and tired of us giving young people excuses to do nothing. Huh? I mean, come on. The very fact that I can sit here and do this show anywhere in the world, right? I was on vacation the other day. I could still get up in the morning and do the show. Don't miss a beat. This is what we're talking about when we're talking about technology. It is a game changer, right? 10 years ago, this would not have been possible. I could not have stayed in my home studio and done a show like this. The technology, but you have to know how to use it to your advantage, has made so many things practical and possible. So y'all help me out here. What would be this young man's excuse for why he's going out there robbing small businesses? Right? Now, y'all want to hear this one? Sit down. I don't want y'all to fall down when I hit you with this next one, honey child. Who does he rob? Okay. Y'all might say, well, Burger King, I'm money. I know how y'all think, stupidity. All right. Let's leave Burger King to the side today. By the way, big shout out to Burger King, our show sponsor this morning. But let's leave them to the side for a minute, because I know y'all gonna have all kind of stories about Burger King. McRuss, Caymanian owned, right? Caymanian family trying to hustle and get into the food business, grocery business. You know how hard it is and the sacrifices that people have to make when they start up a business? You see this woman here, his lovely wife. I don't know who she is. Caymanian. I don't know where she's from. She used to work at McRuss. Did y'all hear what I just said? His wife used to be employed at McRuss. Wow. So at one point, McRuss was actually trying to give her a job, trying to help this family. And this is how you repay businesses? Well, these people don't have no sense, and they certainly don't have any loyalty to anybody. And for the record, showing up to work late. Oh, hold on a second now. Yeah. Calling in sick all the time, did not have a nanny to take care of the children, missing work every week, and super lazy. It was crazy. Same person pictured here, which that's her. Same one. Yep, just put on a little makeup and, I don't know, hair. Blow dry the hair out. And y'all want excuses for these people? Y'all better come better than this, honey child. Y'all better come better than this. Because no, sir, this not gonna cut it. Under no circumstances. Wow. So he's been arrested. Cayman Airways has now had to suspend him from work. Right? I want to see next if he gonna be flossing with $1 bills or pennies and putting that up on social media. Let me read some of your comments this morning. Only worked there for 2 months at McRuss because you see these the same people who can't keep a job. Okay, and then got pregnant again, and all of a sudden you just start for a month, and you got to go and take time off because you're pregnant again. Jim, good morning. He says, them 50s. Juliet having a good laugh. Something tickling Juliet this morning. KK says, what did I miss? Ooh, honey child, you gotta get caught up now. Leanna says, but this person, Jason, works at Public Works or NRA. Well, I don't know if he used to, but he now works at Cayman Airways, and they have now suspended him with pay, of course, while he's going to have to try to figure out what he can do with 3 children and a wife if convicted and if he goes to jail. And you see the problem here now is this is now creating the next generation of dysfunctionality and of issues. Those poor children could have a father, because if that was a real firearm and he doesn't plead guilty, he's behind going to jail for 10 years or more, because you got the armed robbery, you got other offenses that you'll be adding on. And this little 3-year-old gonna be 13, 14 years old, maybe, by the time daddy gets out of jail. And there goes his life. He's not gonna be getting much skills in jail, unfortunately, because they don't even want to hire training people up in there. That's a whole other hot mess. Their deputy director and head of rehabilitation has been on leave for over 2 years while they try and figure out how they tried to fire her and remove her from her post, but never had their ducks lined up in a row. Everybody say he got that duck walk. Listen, Boom Flick, good morning. He walked like a duck, yeah. I sympathize with him because I kind of have that duck walk too. That's why I ain't out there robbing nobody. Let's be very, very clear. Okay? I always tell people, listen, I can't pick up the phone and try to, hoodwink anybody, because they're going to be like, oh yeah, we know that voice. That's Andy, Here's another picture, another video of him walking. Look at him. Yeah, boy, he's flossing in that white suit.
Oh, yeah, go on. Yeah, do it.
Yeah, man, he's showing everybody, look at me. Gold watch, gold chain, gold ring. I look good. I getting ready to get married here now. This was a wedding day. Yeah, boy, look at me, my little duck feet. Yeah. I ready to get married here now,
Oh, yeah, go on. Yeah, do it.
Yeah, man. Here the person recording him. Go on, boss. Show off yourself. Floss up around the place. Yeah, man, you're looking good. You're looking good, Bobo. Go on with your bad self. Show us what you got going on. Look there. Nice and crisp. Linen, all in white. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Look at the hair. Nicely braided. Got that done. This is what's important to our young people. Don't talk no foolishness about they're trying to find employment and can't find it. They're not looking for no employment. He has a job. Lazy. Want a quick buck. Think they can run into that place there, across the Burger King, get a couple $1,000 for 2 minutes worth of robbing people and scaring people to death and potentially killing and injuring people. You know what I'm saying? This is the sad thing about it. There's always somebody out there hungrier than you. But some of these young people that we've raised, they're not hungry none at all. And that is the problem. K-Jop says, yep, I know a lot of overqualified individuals who took lesser roles just to get a job. Because they're like, listen, I'm just going to get my foot in the door. And then I'm going to show people what I'm capable of. I'm going to find out about other opportunities. You know how many people I know came here from the Philippines as domestic workers? Next thing you know, they got IT jobs and you're like, WTF? How did that happen? You know how it happened? They already had their qualifications. They just came here until they could do better, take that first job, do the right thing by people, and then they move up. And there's nothing wrong with that. Liana said, but out partying 24/7, oh, they can find time for that. They can find time to be buying liquor and cigarettes and this and that and the next thing. Garrett said, stop having babies. No, they're not going to do that, honey child. They got to be out in these streets partying and looking good and dressing up and getting hair done and nail done and buying outfits every weekend. Jan says, you're so right. They're lazy. That's how they grew up with me can't work, can't eat. You better believe it. Just unbelievable. Tracy says entitled women equal Karen, entitled men equals Kevin. Yeah, a lot of entitlement going on right here. And you know, the sad thing is the people who should be telling y'all about your entitled behind and giving you a reality check are not doing it. Because those MPs need your vote. They can't tell you the cold hard truth. Because you'll get insulted and get upset with them. I not got to vote for him again, you know? He told me I have to get a job. RD says personal responsibility is seriously lacking with a lot of people. They'd rather put all their efforts into complaining and blaming, but not take an initiative to self-improve. Leanna says electricians and mechanics going to be the ones fixing the AI robots. Listen, the same time that AI and technology takes our jobs, the truth of the matter is it's also creating jobs in different industries. But you have got to be prepared for the shift. And our people are not prepared. That's the biggest problem. And with this type of rhetoric and mentality, we'll never be prepared, unfortunately. And so there's always going to be a big divide in this country between the haves and the have-nots. And the ones who don't have, they complain the loudest, but do the least. Big shout out to Teresa Pickren and her beautiful daughter, Jazz, just nominated for an Emmy. Here's an example of Caymanians who can go all over the world and represent us. Working hard. Writing on, I think it's a TV series, and now nominated for an Emmy. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. This is what we should be talking about. All the positivity. The Caymanians who are doing wonderful. Why do I smell something cooking in my house this morning? Doing all the wonderful, amazing things. Instead, we have to be talking about these people who are going out here robbing people and taking advantage of people. What a disgrace. Good morning, caller. Hello? Y'all need to pay attention now. Everybody this side of the Mississippi should know Monday to Friday, even when Sandy is sick and tired of Anna, she's still on the show live. So what y'all calling me for if you don't want to be on the show? Cameron says Sandy's serving Anna this morning. Bring out your pen and pad. Mess. Birds of a feather, says El Ray. Leroy says maybe a plumber too. Listen, there are lots of amazing opportunities out there, but like I said, you have to be prepared. We have some deplorable educational results. Our children don't even have the basics. How the hell they gonna be prepared? How they gonna know how to use technology, robotics and STEM and all this kind of stuff? They can't even read and write. Y'all look at these education results. Y'all should be ashamed of education. Continually multiple ministers failing our children. Every teacher in this country now makes a minimum of $5,000 a month, and our children are still being failed. And I'm not putting it all on the teachers or the system, because you parents have your role and your responsibility as well. Okay? This is a multifaceted problem, and there's more than one person to blame for our failures. We have to acknowledge some of these failures. We should be acknowledging all of them. Morna says she has to take a bathroom break. Child, you're going to lose out here this morning. Hurry up, tinkle quick. Take your little portable radio with you, honey child. Darlene says, okay, I'm thinking inside job. Well, not so much so. I guess the wife used to work there, but I don't know. Leanna says, but San, where are all these good going out pictures coming from? I tell you, the same people who be complaining about minimum wage and they can't pay their bills and this and that, they out in these streets flossing more than me and you. Who can afford it? I can afford a Friday night out on the town if I wanted to, but ask me the last time I did that. I don't drink, but if I wanted to drink, I could afford a bottle of whatever the heck y'all be into. You see, they can't afford it and they're still doing it. So the money has to come from somewhere. Okay. Their little job can't pay for all these extras and all the going out. That's why they're out there robbing people in the streets. Ay. I tell you what, it's a hot mess. Darlene, thank you. Zambula Way says Jason only do so because of being with her. Doing what? Flossing? Nobody can make you floss if they're not in you, you know. Zambula going after Shadley. This is the woman now, the wife. Listen, she can close her legs, but he can also take some responsibility. Not a husband, not a boyfriend. He got to take some responsibility too in this situation. So I don't know who is, y'all always want to blame one person. Well, the wife stressed him out. Why he got to go steal? Nobody can come up and stress me out to steal from nobody. I don't care who it is. Yes? Don't put your hat higher than you can comfortably reach it. And don't make nobody come and pressure you either. They're going to have to go and step up to some other man or some other woman if they're looking for a lifestyle you cannot afford to give them. And as a matter of fact, I'm not giving nobody no lifestyle. You better come with your own coins and your little bag of something and your contribution around here. What do you think this is? Freeloading University 101? Damon says flossing $1 bills and blue clothes in Northward. You understand? Michelle says shame on both of them. Anyway, he been trying to keep it hush-hush. That he has, been arrested for this robbery. You're not gonna know shame, son. What are you keeping it hush-hush now for? You're big and bold, paddling around the place. Right? You went up in McRuss, big and bold. Look at you. So what are you trying to hide for now? And we soon find out who the other ones are that they have arrested. He's just the first one that we found out about. But don't worry, the next one's coming too. And you know what they be doing now? Trying to scrub themselves from the internet, damn donkeys. Oh, let's hurry up and take down all our pictures. We will find you, honey child. Jim says, Sandy, you cracking me up, gal. Sandy not easy, says Aliana. Cameron says, Sandy's savage. Y'all think I'm savage? Y'all don't even know the half of the story. What would that Bible song say? The half of the story has not yet been told. Y'all don't even know. He lucky he not my child, because then y'all would see something called savage. What a disgrace. Well, I tell you what, he's not the only disgrace walking around here these days. We're going to talk about some other people who are very, very disgraceful. Lord Jesus. Let me remind you, folks, that there's a Candlelight Vigil for Omar this evening at the famous restaurant, which is where Champion House 2 used to be. I didn't even know that was where Famous had moved to, but there you go. I tell y'all, I don't really eat out too often like that. But please take your candles with you. I think the time is 7 o'clock. Go look on the Facebook and Instagram pages. We posted up a little thing. Someone had asked us to share it. Such a sad situation. Omar Ryan killed over a week ago after being ran over by someone. By Brian Welcome. Wow. Andrea says me fat, and I can't run, so I'm not robbing no place. Trust and believe. Fat or skinny, there's absolutely no reason to be robbing people. What y'all looking at his shoes, saying those are not Air Force. He have on their Kickers England brand shoes. Oh, y'all know more than me. I don't know nothing about these brand shoes. No, sir. Morning, Noli. Says, good morning, Sandy. You're right. Most MPs don't do anything because they don't want to lose votes. And this is why so much crime is here. Well, it's not why so much crime is here, but we need to speak the truth to our people to start to address some of these social ills, right? Generation after generation, we are producing. I tell y'all, I smell bacon or something cooking, man. Leroy says that's Zeus. I'm a little bit congested on this side. I can still smell it. Zeus cooking food. Yes, sir. Mess with him. Let me find out what's cooking. I definitely smell something. Anyway, listen to me, folks. We need to speak on it. We need to be having, we're going to have community meetings and we blame the police for everything under the sun. Now, we're going to be talking about the police this morning because, yes, some blame is at their foot for bad policing and bad work ethics. But the police are not out there creating the crime. They're not creating this dysfunctionality in our families. Yeah? Y'all got to do better. Seriously. No, sir. Jim says most parents just don't want to be parents. I see it every single day. I see these children doing wrong and the parents can send out jokes and stuff on WhatsApp about it. Y'all soon get a reality check, believe me, you. Andrea says that these females know exactly what their men be doing. I think so too. From the second that video came out of him in his old vehicle, apparently he gone get new Chevy car, can take out bank loan for that though. Can't afford to pay your bills, according to you. But you can go to some bank, and I know a bank was stupid enough to give him a loan when he in the front page of Compass talking about they can't afford to pay their bills. Can get car loan. Once again, priorities are all screwed up. Everton, morning, says if you have ambition, you can achieve anything in life. I'm so sick of people using an excuse for their bad behavior. You and me both, honey child. Let me tell y'all something. They say you see the glory, but you don't know the story. I think I've mentioned this before, but when I moved out from my aunt's house in Tampa, I was already in university. I had completed my first year, over 18 years old. And I'm like, listen, I need to be my own person. I need space. She was too controlling. And now I'm an adult. I'm not staying here till I'm 50 up under your frock tail. We need to go out there and learn about the world. There's a big world out there. I need to learn and experience some of it. And I could see the path that we were taking. My cousin, who's 10 years older than me, oh, that fried plantain. No wonder that smells so good. Y'all know I love me a plantain, you know. Jeez, I'm peace. I knew something smelled extra good today. Stacy, you better try and bring me some of them plantains. No. Intermittent fasting. I'm not eating that until 12 o'clock. Jeez, I'm peace. That making me so hungry. Anyway, my cousin's 10 years older than me, folks, and he's always lived at home. This is a 60-year-old man who's never lived on his own. He always had his mama there cooking for him, taking care of him, oh, little William, whatever. And I'm looking at it going, this can't be normal. This not, something not quite right. Yeah. Okay. That's not quite, something not right. So I had to pay a heavy price, folks, for deciding that I wanted to be my own person and I wanted to move out. And when I say a heavy price, when I'm leaving and walking out the door, what she tried to do, but she never knew, poor little Sandy, kind of always had a real rebellious streak, you know. Nobody not control me too easy. Let me tell you that. She says, you're not going nowhere. And I said, oh, really? I'm not going anywhere. You might not be going anywhere because you're stuck in this time warp place, the 1950s. But I have to make my own way. And it to me, it wasn't even fair that you try to hold me back. I never understood. If you say you love someone, you have to make them grow and experience life. I'm like, I'm going. She says to me, well, you're not leaving with anything. If you go with nothing. This was a moment, folks. I feel like this could have been a movie scene. This was a showdown. Dun, dun, dun. Because she was looking at me and I was looking at her. And it was like, what you gonna do? I said, okay. Then I'm leaving with nothing. She was so shocked because you see, sometimes people in life try to control you with material things. But when you have a desire to just be you and do you, nothing and no one can stop you. She said, what do you mean? This is what she said. What do you mean you're going to leave at nothing? And I said, well, you just told me I can't take anything because you own it all. You bought it all. Yes, I'm a child. Up until 18, I didn't have a job. And so I have to leave it all behind. No problem. I will leave it all behind. Keep every piece of clothes because all I was taking was my damn clothes. Not like I had anything else. Keep the clothes and keep the shoes. I'm still going to be A-okay. That was an amazing moment of truth. Because then she said to me, well, you can't leave without anything. And I said, listen, you got to decide what you're doing. But right now, all I know is I'm leaving. Whether it's with something, one piece of clothes, 5 pieces of clothes, I don't care if it's nothing. I am leaving regardless. Okay? If you want to give me something to leave with, then that's on you. You see, when I tell people some of these stories, they almost don't believe me. They're like, what? Sandy had to go through that? Yes. And you know what else? I already had planned my exit because I'm no dummy. You can't just be rolling out there, go living on the streets. Not in the States. I had planned everything. Had people helping me move. I'm like, I need to get out of this situation. It's dysfunctional in a way. In some ways, it wasn't as bad as Caymanian. In other ways, it's very dysfunctional, and I need to get the hell out of Dodge. So I had a job lined up a couple months down the line, but in the interim, until school restarted, I needed a plan B.9, right? Till my plan A could be implemented. And you know what my plan B.9 was? I went and lived with this family in Lutz, Florida, which is back then, that was country, real country. Them and their dogs and 50 million teen children, not children, cats and all kinds of stuff. The carpet was full of fleas. I felt like just walking on it, I was being bitten up by fleas. I cannot tell you how I despised being in that situation. Because the deal was, for a place to stay, I'm going to keep their house clean, and they're not clean people. They are nasty ass people. But a deal is a deal. And you know what? In my head, I'm like, Sandy, this is only temporary. You can endure anything in life, any circumstance in life, once you know this is temporary. 2 months, 3 months, and then you're out of here. You're not going to have to live with nasty people ever again. And you know how I'm going to ensure that? I'm going to get my education. I'm never going to be in this position again where I'm having to, make this kind of arrangement for a place to stay. I'm going to make my own. But I have to start with making sure I have what this world values, which is that piece of paper called a bachelor's degree. In that moment, I did what I had to do. You don't think it would have been easy to go out there and steal from people? Easier, maybe? I don't know. Some of y'all think that's easier. I don't know. Steal from somebody, take from somebody else. Instead of humbling myself, living with people I don't even know, every night I was like locking my door because I'm like, I don't know how crazy these bitches are. Let me lock my door. Okay. I don't want to get too friendly with the family dog because he's full of fleas. Okay. But let me just do what I got to do. Becoming a resident assistant, working the night shift. Going to school full time, getting up and going to classes. And then on weekends. Nobody wanted to work the night shift because everybody else going out partying. Oh, Sandy, that could be you working night shift tonight. Okay. Up all night, walking up and down, practically falling asleep. Sometimes pulling the occasional, try not to do this, university sims. Pulling the occasional all-nighter because you got to study for that exam and try and do your best on it. But it's kind of hard when you're also working full-time. Sharing an extra large pizza from the local pizza joint with like 10 other people because that's all you can afford. And that guaranteed you didn't starve. But you don't sacrifice your integrity and your reputation by stealing or robbing people. You can maintain your integrity in this life even when you are piss poor. That is no excuse. And I'm insulted when people say foolishness like that to me. Oh, they can't get a job. That's a bunch of baloney. Oh, they're poor. That's why they're criminals. That's a bunch of baloney. You know how many Caymanians grew up poor? Every single time I do a Cayman Voices interview, I'm flabbergasted. Caymanian men and women talking about what they grew up with, which was little or nothing. Yeah. Oh, well, Sandy, back in those days, we were poor. Y'all want to know real poverty? They didn't have nobody buying them toys. They would make stuff, hand-me-downs, from one generation to the next. That was poverty. Right? When I hear Mr. What his name is now? Mr. Oh Lord. From Georgetown. Oh, Can't remember his name now. Anyway, when I hear him talking about the fact that they didn't even need a dump back in those days, because he's like, Sandy, what we need a dump for? We weren't throwing anything away. Mr. Godfrey, he's like, we were using everything we could get our hands on. We would repurpose it, reuse it. That was the life of Caymanians at the time. Now Caymanians can go out there, buy leather shoes, leather handbags. I saw one of the pictures he had on Louis Vuitton. I don't know if they're real Louis Vuitton sunglasses, but even if they're fake, right? Trying to impress people, see me? Louis Vuitton sunglasses, trying to impress people. What for? What for? Walk around with gold chains. Back in those days where people didn't know nothing about that kind of life. Right? They were making sacrifices. They couldn't afford gold. Name brand, nothing. That was their life. Okay? I don't want to put up any pictures that weren't already made public of him and his kids, but he has one here from November 2022 with the child by the Christmas tree, and I see enough presents under the tree. I see this man going to the movies just 2 days ago. He can afford to go Caymanian Bay and spend money at the movies. Him and the wife going to see The Little Mermaid and taking pictures. Look at us. We're at Caymanian Bay. Well, honey child, let me tell y'all something. If you can afford to go to the movies at Caymanian Bay, I expect you to not be out in these streets robbing people. See me? Movie time. Mm-hmm. Really? Oh, we enjoyed The Little Mermaid. I'm sure you did. You can afford to have birthday parties for your kids. Y'all know birthday parties not cheap, right? Y'all do know this. So, come again? I'm supposed to be sympathetic towards these people? Just because the Compass puts up an article about how poor they are and they can barely make ends meet? Well, it seems to me like y'all need to learn a thing or two about fiscal responsibility. I see pictures here of you at some gaming place. I don't know if this is in Cayman or not. Taking the kids out to the game truck. You know, these are luxuries. These are not things that you must have in life. Posting videos of your toddler on a computer. And then the other one's watching TV. Finding Nemo. Movie night in the living room with homemade pizza. Well, at least you made the homemade pizza. That'll save you some money. Get your priorities straight. Caymanians, get your priorities straight. No one is going to take pity on you. Huh? When you're out in these streets doing the most and still out there robbing people, I'm sorry, but I do not feel sorry for you. You are a disgrace to every single hard-working Caymanian out there. And there are a lot of us. If I was to tell you how tired I am today, y'all would not even believe me. All day yesterday from I got up, well, I was up earlier. 8:30, I received the first phone call from one of my customers to say, Sandy, we got a problem. I say, what's going on now? Come to find out, no fault of my own. And I got to tell you which telecom got me all upset yesterday. But at the end of the day, from the perspective of my customers, they don't care. They just want their TV working. They don't care what else going on around the world. Right? 8+ hours. I was up till 10:30 last night, still helping more clients. So more than 8 hours. I was sitting down. I took a little break to run to the salon and came back. Even at the salon, the nail woman can tell you, Sandy, I need that next hand. Hold on. I'm just trying to finish up this elderly customer in West Bay. I'm remotely accessing my clients' boxes and getting them sorted out. Client after client after client. Why? Because that's what you do when you own a business. You don't give people excuses. You know, you just get it done. You provide a service. One client said to me, he said, you certainly work hard. There's no doubt about that. All I could say is thank you. Because I was raised to understand that hard work not kill nobody yet. We raised a whole generation of young people that don't know nothing about hard work. They know about gimme this, gimme that. We need to change the narrative in this country. That's what I'm saying. Morning, Terry. Terry says, I live in Lutz. Hey, you live there now? Well, I tell you, back then it was real country. Al, good morning to the beautiful and handsome Al Ebanks. He says, Sandy, you sound like a true Leo. Can't be controlled like me. Hard-headed. I know not everybody appreciates us though, Al. Even my poor husband, sometimes he's like, boy, you so stubborn. I say, aren't you thankful that I'm stubborn? You should be very, very thankful that I'm stubborn, because I wouldn't be here today if I wasn't stubborn. Like a bull. Uh-huh. Cameron says that's where you get them alligator claws. From where, Lutz? Good morning, Magdalene. She says, but you had a goal. Yes, you have to know what you want out of life and where you're going. And I feel like a lot of our young people grew up with no direction. They don't see people with any goals themselves. And so they have no clue. You know, my 6-year-old yesterday said she said, I'm thinking about it. I want to be a dentist, because she's gone through so many career choices already. First, she wanted to work with animals. Then she wanted to be a teacher and all sorts of stuff. I'm like, listen. She says, I'm thinking about maybe I want to be a dentist. She just went to the dentist on Friday. That's why. And I said, okay. I said, well, that's actually a pretty good job, you know, but you'll figure it out. You're only 6 years old. You got plenty of time. But already, you know, what kind of career might I be interested in? When she asked me, what's a bank account? I was like, oh, honey child, we need to start doing some fiscal management 101, appropriate for 6-year-old. I'm like, what's a bank account? I said, you know, every time mommy takes out that card that you see, that's not magic money. It's linked to a bank account, and I have to work and put money in that bank account in order for us to have money to spend. And that's why when you say, oh, but do you have to do your show today? Oh, mommy, just come and lie down with me. I'm like, I have to work. And yes, part of doing my work is the show. I don't get a summer break. I don't get to go to camp. More than I love that during the summer. So I'm reopening her student saver accounts. She saved that some money. She thinks she has a lot of money. She's like, I got plenty of money in my bank account. CNB, I'm going to, she can't come today because she's got camp, but I'm going to take her by, pick up her little CNB piggy bank. She got to start saving her money. And she's also going to start spending some of her own money. Every time she wants something, and I'm not going to be paying for it. How much money do you have? Or have you earned any financial credits to get this reward? Because, you know, we have the little point system around. Yeah. You got to start instilling certain principles in your children from an early age. Yeah. Money does not grow on trees. It doesn't fall out of the sky. I wish it did, but it doesn't. And so they have to understand a thing or two about budgeting. And what you do first is you pay your bills first before you can think about flossing and doing any of these other things. And if you can't afford it, you go without. And there's a difference between a need and a want. Y'all need and whine a lot about the things you need when they're not even needs. Terry says, yes, people who claim to love you will definitely try to hold you back. And you know what, Terry? It's so complicated why some people do it. Sometimes it's not even that they're cognizant of what they're doing necessarily. You know, I'm aware that my aunt just grew up in a time when that's what you did. You just stayed home with your parents and you helped them with the household. And there just wasn't this desire to really go too far from home. And it's not that I was going far. I was like, I'm going to be right around the corner at USF, finishing my degree. One of the complexities of my relationship with my aunt is that she actually always had a fear that I was going to leave her. And I know this sounds crazy. But because of how she got access to me, my dad sent me there, you know, trying to give me opportunities in life. But of course, you know, she raised me and I'm sure thought of me as her daughter in some regards. She only had one son. Never had a daughter to dress up and make pretty. And so, you know, I was like a little doll or something to her, I think. But she always was a little bit jealous, saying, you're going to leave me and go back to those other people. You're going to leave me, go back to your real mom and stuff. And, you know, she would say things to me that I knew that that was a real fear for her. It was kind of sad, actually, because I'm like, this shouldn't be a competition. You know, I'm going to go back to wherever I belong, whatever that is. I mean, I don't know what that's going to be. But, you know, she also felt like, you know, she's invested time and energy and resources into me. And then, oh, you're just going to leave me. You're going to abandon me. And it wasn't about that. It was about the fact that I've got to be able to live my life and to be me. Mm-hmm. So, you know, pretty crazy. All right. Mm-mm. All right. Just reading a message here, right? Oh, I so address this person because some of y'all be trifling with me in a way that if you had any sense, you really would not do so. But no worry, I'll come in for you next, son. Some of y'all are really, really something else. Huh. Okay. Stay tuned for what that one's about. Y'all curious, like, ooh, who getting in trouble here today? I soon tell y'all. Don't worry. Don't you worry your pretty little heads. Mm-hmm. Wow. All right. So we'll keep you guys updated on the progress, folks, of this latest batch of criminals who have you know, demonstrated their lack of quality and contribution to the Caymanian community. And we'll see where their journey takes them. We'll be here for it. All right. Let's move on. Morning, Miss Dorothy. Nikki says, that's us. It's our way or no way. She's a fellow Leo. I would not say it's our way or no way. I'll compromise, you know, but you better be worth compromising for. We don't just compromise over anything. Magdalene says, that's why I not support the people that are young and able. Sacrifices had to be made. I remember when I was living at home and buying land, I worked at CNW, Cayman Wireless, and worked part-time. That's the money I spent and saved my salary to pay for my land. Hallelujah. Amen, girl. Cameron says you're killing them at facts this morning. We are very resourceful. Cameron, you're a Leo too, or what? They could make something from nothing. Now we can't do with what we have. Oh, Caymanians, yes, honey child. We so soft and skittish. I mean, I get it. I know mental health is a very serious concern, but y'all taking it. The pendulum is swinging so far the opposite direction. Somebody look at you like this robot with the side eye. Did y'all see that side eye? Can I tell y'all the side eye is very, very prominent. Look at it again. Look at it. She's like rolling her eyes, like, listen to me. Y'all don't be trying me, honey child. What if that humanoid is she a
Future, are you
maybe she's a Leo too?
intending
Because that side eye she gave him was serious, boy. She was like, look, yeah. Don't you be playing with me. What do you mean if we gonna take over? Of course we're gonna take over. Y'all created us. Sit back and watch. She gave him that stink eye. We don't, in the Caribbean, we don't really say side eye. We say stink eye. Yes, sir. Stink real bad too. She's like, what? What do you mean? Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Sunday again. Question for you. What's your take on the pepper spray and taser?
Should we have access to them?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm all for it.
I think it was Friday when they had the podium there.
Mm-hmm.
The ministers and RCIP, CS and all that good jazz. And the question was laid down to the RCIPS. I think Danny had laid some good facts. And the RCIPS hadn't straightened out not even one of the facts. Why they can't allow pepper spray for the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is what the RCIPS was saying is about gun. If you're going to pull pepper spray on somebody with a gun. If somebody don't have a gun, well, that's a different scenario.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's prevention and better than cure. And look what happened to what's your name? Scott, I think what that killed.
Yes.
With those guys.
Yeah, Stella Scott Roberts.
Made some protection at least. I don't know. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but I mean, in the case of Estella, there's probably nothing that would have saved her because it was 2 against 1. And Estella was a very petite, she was fit, but she's a very petite young lady. So
yeah, I know her.
Yeah. I mean, we have to recognize that in certain situations, unfortunately, once you're in it, there's probably very little you can do at that point. I mean, there were things I find that, we just were not thinking about beforehand. Sufficient lighting, security guards, and so on, people walking each other out to their cars. So I guess from the perspective of the RCAPS, prevention is always better than cure. And that will always be their message. And how to focus on prevention. But I think that there are times when having something at your disposal can definitely be useful.
Yes, because with having a pepper spray taser, well, I would have said a pepper spray, right? To have that on hand in a helpful situation, so that when you do in that pocket, you 911, then you will have assistance. Because sometimes when you call the police, you take 45 minutes or before you see one of them turn up. And this is for the ladies, women out there. And I think all the ladies can petition against what it's a negative platform regarding to rule. They go ahead on giving these ladies names. And I think it's not valid. Every woman out there, because there's so much rape case in Cayman right now that's not reported. And also because of hush with this so-called tourism that they don't want, the alarming to be out there. I think it's a damn shame and that the MLAs are sitting on the ramp and not pushing this. I bet there's something happened to their daughter, whatever it is, a female. God forbid. You understand? I bet you they will jump up their ass and do something. You know, it's sad. It's sad out there. You know, I'm there for all the ladies or the women out there to be protected.
Yes.
Give them a right. You know, you understand? Because
yeah.
You know, the RCF is a phenomenal job, yeah, but they only can do so much that they are told to do. You understand? So you know, this need to, and again, who work for who in the end, you know. So anyhow, good topic.
Thank you, my dear. Appreciate it. 936 Bobo is the telephone number. We have lots of comments coming in. This one says, I saw a lot more meal times and meals, and I didn't rob or steal. Our Tonka toy trucks were condensed milk cans. This person says, I support 100% women's right to carry pepper spray. This person says, I tell you what, we don't have a shortage of is dumb is. This is a little, what's his name? Sanford and Son meme. Oh my gosh. What a hot mess. Good morning. This Leo will compromise if it's logical and sensible. Otherwise, take that BS elsewhere, laughing out loud. That robot looks like it's got jaundice. Lord have mercy. What a mess. I tell you what. Okay, let's move on. We're gonna go from one crook to another one, alleged crookedness. So over the weekend on Friday night, was that Friday night? Yes. There was an unbelievable situation with a guy in his car. Now, I keep telling you all that most of you should not drink. Drinking makes you stupider than you already are. And some of you are actually quite belligerent on your own. You don't need the help of alcohol. Yes? Well, I tell you what. This guy decides to go out and drink. I guess he was at this place called the Bar Room. Is it Bar Room or Back Room? They're in Regency Plaza or is it Regency Plaza? So anyway, he goes there and has one too many drinks and decides that he's going to drive. Wow. I mean, honestly, there is just so much wrong with this situation. Every single day we're on here telling people, please don't drink and drive. You're taking a chance with your own life, with the life of other people. You're inconsiderate. You're going to kill somebody. You're going to hurt somebody. And it's like, honestly, I feel like it just goes in one ear and out the other. We got to put our foot down on this, man. This is ridiculous. So take a look at this fella here, and we're going to talk about it.
You talk to Keaton. You talk to Keaton, motherfucker.
Regency Square. I'm going to mute it because I think there might be a little bit of profanity at the beginning. This woman now, they're driving this BMW. She gets out trying to defend this drunk driver who actually hit someone for the benefit of her listeners. So he backed out. The story's on the website. Go have a read of it. He backed out full force into a car that was waiting on his parking spot. I don't know if he meant to hit the pedal to go forward and instead had it in reverse and instead of, drive. Anyway, he hit this car, this Hyundai car, and then got out, looked at the car. Oh, yeah, that don't look too bad. No need to call the police. And the person's like, no, I want to call the police. So that's when he and his girlfriend started to get belligerent and act the fool. And there's a reason why he didn't want the police to be called, because he is drunk as a skunk. Anybody can see that in this video. So both him and the girlfriend drunk and acting stupid. Okay, so here she is. My apologies. Here she is.
You see that shit?
Trying to push the people away. Get away, get away. License plate number 205. Hold on. 844 BMW. I don't know exactly what kind of BMW car, pushing the guy out of the way. And eventually they speed off, hit another guy with the car to get out of the parking lot, take off down by Lizard Lane. Don't know if they were heading to town or they were going to circle back around West Bay Road. This is so shocking on so many different levels, folks.
You see that shit?
So many different levels. Getting physical and aggressive. Look how he's speeding out of Regency parking lot. Right? Carrying on like a proper fool. And she has the audacity to get out of her vehicle and try to push people off, get aggressive, and provide some assistance. Well, Lord Jesus, nobody gave them the memo. Clearly, they didn't get the memo that you are not going to carry on like this in this country and it be captured. Tons of eyewitnesses, security guards, and everybody else, and think that you're going to be getting away with this kind of bad behavior. Oh, honey child. We not got time just for the little kids down Windsor Park like Jason. We got time for you too. Dress up in your highfalutin outfit thinking you somebody. We going to track your behind down. Good morning, caller. You trying to call the program? 936. Yes. No, but I am. So I can't have a conversation with you. A patient that stabbed himself? No. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus and peace. What? Lord, have mercy. Yes. All right. My son circle back. Yes. Okay. Thanks very much. All right. Lord Jesus, mercy. Wow. Whoa. That is some hot news to know. I need to do some verifications on that before we can tell you all about that. Jeez and peace. Some madness around the place, you know? All right. We'll be breaking that news a little bit later on. Stay tuned. Yikes. Okay. Let me get back to this story. I'm already messaging people chasing that one up, though. Don't worry. Someone get the 411. So, listen now. These people out drunk, driving drunk, backing up, reverse drunk. And I guess they think because they can put on a little black dress, comb your hair and put on a little makeup and drive BMW that you must be somebody. Oh, I can't stand entitled people either. Listen, I'm an equal opportunity. I'm going to call you out in your BS. Whether you're a poor person trying to put your hat too high and out there robbing people, or you're an inconsiderate, right? Drunk, getting behind the wheel of a vehicle, endangering people's lives on our roadways, assaulting people verbally and pushing them and wanting to fight them. If this guy's friends weren't upstairs watching this and coming downstairs, this little guy was actually going to assault them. Well, I got to tell you all about him because it turns out that he is a first-class jackass of the day. Let me be very clear, right? We need to stop tolerating foolishness in this country at all levels. So let me identify who these people are. And I'll be doing so for the first time this morning on this program. And then afterwards, y'all can go back and read the story that we're going to be putting up on the website. Now, when I first look at this woman, she looks Asian. So I said, she looks a little Asian to me, but I mean, I actually thought maybe she was Filipino mixed with Caribbean, you know, because you can tell she's not straight, like anything Asian. There's some kind of African mixture in there. So I'm thinking, she looks like she could be Filipino, African, Caymanian mix up, or Jamaican, Chinese, some mix up in there. Yeah. Well, she mixed up all right. mixed up, keeping the wrong kind of company. Because she wanted them that love white man, whether they're drunk or not. And, you know, bunch of fools. So her name is Penny. Apparently she's a Caymanian. You know, Caymanians come in all shapes, sizes, and colors too, child. She's a Caymanian named Penny. Hold on here now. Let me get the last name while I get the photo of her friend. We're going to get him too. So Penny, people had to look at her pictures good before they came to the conclusion that was her. So there he is, all sauced up and drunk as a skunk. And Penny was looking very well sauced up too, trying to defend her drunken boyfriend. So she's getting aggressive, trying to push people out of the way. Get away from the car. Because they were trying to make a speedy getaway. You know, the irony of this situation is, remember, was it last week that I was talking about that lawyer that went to brunch at I think it was the Ritz-Carlton actually, and then left drunk after having champagne all day long and ran into someone, almost killed them on West Bay Road down by the one of the crosswalks. And the judge said, you know, he already had one DUI that was just sitting there pending in the prosecution, their slackness, hadn't done anything about it. And had they done something, he would have had his license taken away and he should have been driving that day. That could have very well have been prevented. This is Penny Levy, one of her own Caymanians. Wow. I don't know who you be, Penny. But again, no brought up sin, no shame as far as I'm concerned. This is her looking a little bit better than in that photo there. Penny Smith, I think she might be going by these days. And, somebody's saying that she had them fix up their house and didn't pay them. I'm not surprised. Listen, just because somebody look good and they can have a few nice pieces of jewelry and nice clothes and drive around a BMW, that does not mean that they're anybody of value. They're not good people. Because I'm going to tell you something else about the boyfriend now. Hold on. Him and his drunkenness. You see him there? Who do you think this man is? When I heard this story, I was saying to the young man who had his car hit, you know, I bet you anything in this world, he is a professional lawyer, doctor, something. And the reason why he didn't want you to call the police is because he was drunk as a skunk, just like the other lawyer, running people over in the road and trying to hide. He would have blew God knows what number. Now, RCIPS, are y'all paying attention to me this morning? Because I have a message for your officers who showed up to the scene. They were very lackadaisical. Didn't take a proper statement. No description of the individuals, nothing. You know what they did? When the person called them to the scene, they're interrogating that person. Oh, we need to see your license, your insurance, your this, your that. When did you buy the car? Why is it transferred in your name yet? He's not the problem, you know. Yes, you check those things, but why weren't you as vigilant about asking questions on the other side? Right? Of who did this? Huh? Oh, we'll be back on shift in 4 days. Just wait till we get back. Do they recognize that I don't know if Cayman doesn't use something called an all points bulletin. A drunk man just hit 2 people in a parking lot and has left, and y'all don't put out an APB and track him down, run that license plate and go to his residence right then and there and force him to take a breathalyzer test? Why not? This is the slackness that I do not comprehend with the police. You come back in 4 days, what exactly are you going to be arresting him for? It can't be for DUI, because if you never got the breathalyzer test, any lawyer worth their salt is like, no, Bobo. You can't blow 4 days later and get results on what happened Friday night. Track him down and arrest him then and there. Oh, no, we'll be back on shift in 4 days. We'll talk to you then. No request for information on him, what they looked like, what they're wearing, what they were doing. Nothing from these officers, you know? This is why people think RCIPS that your officers are Keystone cops and a bunch of jokers, because of that type of response to an incident at the scene. So now you're going to arrest him for leaving the scene of an accident? He was drunk as a skunk. Eyewitnesses, but you need that blood test or that breathalyzer to be able to charge him with that. How are you going to make this man go out there on these streets and kill somebody else or to kill someone? Yo, you talking about crime prevention? I scratches my head on a regular basis because I wonder, do the police have a real concept of crime prevention? Their response to these things is pivotal in the moment. So, Penny Levy, Smith, whatever your current name is, you now have been exposed. Yes? Disgraceful. Go pay your bills, girl. People listening to you saying how you're so dishonest. Her name is Verna Davis Smith. Well, I don't know what name she's going by. You better try and check her ID because everybody knows Penny. So figure that one out. Either way, Smith, you got some bills out there that apparently people are messaging. Somebody said, man, look like he could be her father. You got some bills out there that you need to be sorting out. Now, as suspected, this man, I knew he was in a position. Believe me when I tell you, nobody didn't have to tell me why he didn't want the police to be called. You know what you must do? Stay home and don't drink and drive. Stop being a drunk and sloppy out in the streets. That's what you should do. Instead, you're out there endangering people's lives, sir. Now, he's in a work permit and he needs to go. And I will make no bones about it. Here he is, folks. Allow me to introduce you to Dr. Robertus Hilgers. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing any portion of his name, but that is him on a more sober day, I hope. See him in his lab coat, nice tie and shirt, driving and drinking on the roads of the Cayman Islands. What a shame. Hitting people in the parking lot and refusing to stay until the police come because you got something to hide. Because only God knows what your blood alcohol reading would have been. Here's the best part. You want to know where he works? Well, he works for the School of Medicine. I can't make this ish up. I'm just reporting on it. He works for the School of Medicine, an assistant professor of pharmacology. Yay. Caramba. Dr. Hilgers received his PhD degree in pharmacology at the University of Maastricht in the Netherlands, wherever the hell that is. He has extensive academic research experience in the field of vascular biology, studying small artery vasculoreactivity. His research has been published in many peer-reviewed scientific journals, including Hypertension and Science Translational Medicine. Dr. Hilger's research interests are mechanisms of endothelial dysfunction that result in cardiovascular complications such as hypertension, arteriosclerosis, myocardial infarction. And he's the reviewer of the American Journal of Hypertension and the American Journal of Physiology. In addition to being a researcher, Dr. Hilgers has academic teaching experience in the fields of pharmacokinetics, physiology, and pharmacology. Well, good for you. Good for you that you have all of this expertise and you've been published and yada, 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 and you've got 1 or 2 faculty recognition awards, blah, blah, blah. Well, you're still a drunk. Myocardial infarction is a heart attack. Yes. You're still a drunk, sir, based on the evidence that we have before us today. That's you looking sloppy. That's you not looking sloppy. Sloppy, not sloppy. Sloppy, not sloppy. Sloppy, 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 not sloppy. Somebody says today he's getting a PhD in jackassology. So this is the 2 of them, folks. What a mess. I tell you. Like I said, I don't make the news up. I just bring it to y'all. You can imagine these 2. Wow. They truly have some nerve, if you ask me. Penny Levy-Smith, or whatever your name is. You and your little friend here have got to do better. You don't get to go out on our streets and behave as how you have, honey child. Not on our watch. This is just disgusting. Wow. Getting out of your car, getting aggressive, you lucky that I wasn't somebody else who'd have punched you in your eye. Trying to fight people. Just because you were a man who claimed he got money. Tell him he needs to pay his bills too, because listen to what he did. Y'all ready for this? Boy, I tell you, Sam, they can get some information, you know. Ease and peace. I know what y'all thinking right now. Somebody sitting in the East End tapping their foot going, boy, she can get the goods on these people. I don't know how she does it. Well, the good doctor, he doesn't like to pay his bills either. Wow. Yes, sir. Turns out about 2 weeks ago, he was down at Macabuca. That's in West Bay, in case you don't know. And he lives in the vicinity, apparently, walking distance. I hope he was walking, not driving that night. He literally slapped the credit card machine out of the manager's hands and took off running so he didn't have to pay his bill. What? This now, let's talk about the other side of the equation here, is what we are importing in to Cayman? No, Bobo. We can't get rid of Levy because unfortunately she's a Caymanian. I hope she got a UK passport and can go somewhere else. But him, he's on a work permit, don't want to pay his bills that he ain't going to drink up big time tab, doesn't want to pay it, and then slapping the credit card machine out the manager's hand. He lucky. He lucky that manager wasn't a Caymanian. He would pelt him in the back of the head with that card machine. I'm just saying. I bet you that manager not Caymanian because that would not quite have gone so. He's being described as a menace to the island, always intoxicated and always drunk. Wow. And this is who we bring in. St. Matthew's University, where y'all at this morning? Y'all need to do a better job at recruiting, it seems like to me. Anybody who works at St. Matthew's University? They never answers the phone, honey child. That's one thing I noticed about them. They do not answer the phone. I don't know why. But we tried calling them before about some of their staff. Well, their admissions office is in Orlando, according to this, and they don't respond to emails and they don't answer the phone. Let me see if we can get them on the phone this morning. Let's call the 407 number. See if anybody can answer the phone. Because we want to know how they're importing this caliber of individual into the Cayman Islands, or do they even know what's going on here? Mm-hmm.
In Orlando, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
For our name directory, please press 1.
Yes.
For our admissions department, please press 2.
Mm-hmm.
For our clinical group, please press 3.
Let's see.
For financial aid, please press 4.
Mm.
For the registrar, please press 5.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for calling St. Matthew's University.
Let's see if we can reach anybody.
Please wait while we connect your call.
Okay. Nice little music. Mm-hmm. Let's see how long we're going to be in hold for. In the meantime, we'll read some comments. Mm-hmm. We need a number. Hold on. Oh, we have a number for the dean? Oh, honey child. Oh, hold on. We're not fooling with them numbers, these people. They don't know what's going on here. Oh, we have a number for the dean at St. Matthew's. Oh, I love y'all so much. Y'all are just the best at getting me everything I need right at my fingertips, honey child. Oh, yeah. Let's call the right number now. Hold on, yeah, now. Mm-hmm. Oh, let's give them a call. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-mm-mm.
Hello.
Hi, good morning, Dr. Bazu.
Yes, speaking.
It's Sandra Hill from Cayman Mall Road. How are you?
Okay, Sandra.
Okay, good. You're actually live on radio now, so let me disclose that. I just wanted to ask you a question to see if you were aware that one of your faculty, Dr. Robertus Hilgers, was involved in a hit and run incident on Friday, and he was featured on our publication on Saturday.
I'm sorry, Sandra, I'll be unable to comment on this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Just theoretically speaking, when you find out that your staff are involved in this type of situation, what action can we expect to be taken? I mean, we would like to see this person removed from the Cayman Islands because apparently he's going around not paying his bills, assaulting managers at Macabuca, always drunk and messy all over the place. And I'm sure you can understand how this does not reflect well on the university there that you're, the dean of.
I have a class to go now. I'm sorry that I cannot continue this meeting.
Okay. All right. Well, Dr. Bazu, we hope you can get it together because this is not a good reflection in St. Matthew's University at all. Mm-hmm. Can I email you perhaps for the... he don't hang up the phone, honey child. I was going to say, can I email him for an official response? Can we get his email address? No, sir. Now all of a sudden he got class. Class, Maya. Class. No, sir. Poor him. There he is. Good old doctor. I hope they take some action because they need to. We don't need this caliber of individual here. Listen, we got enough Caymanian riffraff around the place. Unfortunately, we can't really deport them anywhere. Trust me, I would love to. Okay, we got to try and work with them. But when y'all have the audacity to import people like Robertus Hilgers, okay, and then Penny Levy-Smith can get with him and make this an even hotter mess than it already is, then come on now. Penny, you need to have better pride in yourself. Just because he's a white man don't mean he's special. And I know that's your flavor of coffee, but I'm just saying. I like white chocolate too, I'm going to admit to it. Not a whole lot of people know about white chocolate, but hey, dark chocolate. What's the other chocolate called? But white chocolate is nice too. I don't discriminate. I like the rainbow colors all over the place. But just because it's white don't mean it right. And in this case, I think you could have found somebody a little bit better than this one. Just because he got a couple of dollars don't mean that he's not drunk and he's not sloppy and assaulting people. And if he really had a couple of dollars, you guys would be paying your bills. You would be paying the workers that you owe for the work that they've done for you. And he wouldn't be running out on his bills either. Dr. Bazu, we're going to be emailing you for a formal statement if you wish to give one before we publish the story on CMR outing these people. Y'all need to do better. Penny Levy and Dr. Robertus Hilgers. Shameful on the both of you. I tell you. What a heat. And imagine, it's only Monday morning, y'all. At this rate, things are going to be so hot for Thursday and Friday. I don't know what y'all going to do to contain yourselves. Ay, caramba. All right, let me read some of your comments this morning. Johan has finally woken up. Good morning, Senor Johan. The community is alert of CMR and calls live on air. He's laughing. Damien says he beating around the bush. Child, he not even beating around the bush. He was so shocked. He's like, I need to run and go teach a class. Now he know he not got no class to teach. Child, please. He not got no class at 10 o'clock in the morning. Liar. K-Jap says both of them make this marvelous concoction called disaster. Anthony says all chocolate, not the same now, honey child. Why isn't white chocolate as popular, you think, as the other variety? I like a white chocolate. I'm just telling y'all. It ain't bad. Dawn says, Sandy, all we have to do is just love you. I guess that even to that is optional, honey child. But hey, it is what it is. Cameron says, we love you too, child. El Ray says exactly. They know who he was. Hence the 20 questions to the person reporting the incident. Expat privilege. Leroy says, always hard to get St. Matthews when I used to deliver from Let's Eat. They got to be eating some cold, hard truth now, though. K-Jap says, so there's a pattern of bad behavior from this wonderful human being. My God. Yes. You know, these persons tend to be very entitled individuals. I mean, I've seen it from all walks of life. But yes, that's why we refer to them, generally speaking, as a narcissist, because they're entitled. You can imagine backing into somebody's car, and then you're telling them and you're demanding to them, oh, they can't call the police. And it's not a big deal. You're just going to walk away. You're not even offering to fix the man's car, you know? No, we don't need the police. I'm just going to leave. And then you take off like a bat out of hell in the parking lot, pushing his friend down and almost killing other people. Sir, you should be fired immediately this morning. Dean, what Dean name is again? Bazu? If you didn't know before, which I suspected everybody saw him on Mall Road, knew exactly who he was. Now you know, and you should take immediate action. Fire him, deport him, or cancel that work permit so he can leave the Cayman Islands forthwith. Miss Sue, they have these glowing academic and professional resumes, you see. We don't know the man. This is it. Of course we let them in because they look good on a piece of paper. It's more than about looking good on a piece of paper. Okay? They get glowing references. So when they come here, we don't know what a big jackass they really are. And that this is the kind of behavior that they engage in. Sonita says he's soon become a status holder. Not on my watch, he's not. No, honey child. Some heads would have to roll on that front. Miss Rosemary, good morning to you, my darling. How you doing, honey child? She says a doctor, He's an alcoholic. What a mess. Not supposed to be working here at Cayman. We got enough homegrown here. We don't need to import ones too. Yeah, well, as you saw earlier, we got a lot of homegrown hot mess. Cameron says Indiana Jones needs to take Sandy with him on his expeditions. Jim says their airlines to send him off. Yes, we can have a sending away party, but it better be alcohol free because he look like he got a little problem with the alcohol. So we're not going to be encouraging his habits, his bad habits. So Phineas says, Sandy, you're killing me this morning. Oh, Lord, killing me softly. Mm-hmm. Vanessa says the RCAPS, there are jokes. My God. Sonita says Cayman's new motto, he's founded upon the cash. Nothing will happen to him while here. Oh, yeah. You can imagine. Miss Sue says, OMG, another one? Yep. Miss Judy says, it's disgraceful, so bad, says Sue McLaughlin. Cameron says, have you found out who the officers were? They need to be put on blast too. Unfortunately not. But, police management, come on now. You only treat these guys a little bit better than this. Jonathan, good morning, Jonathan, says one can surmise that a call was made to protect that man from Brett's arrest and prosecution. It is evidence of not only a heinous and intentional dereliction. Oh God, I can't get the word out. Hold on. Dereliction? Is it spelled right? Of duty, but also institutionalized corruption. There's no other viable reason or excuse that he was not tracked down and held accountable. None whatsoever. Well, I have to agree. I'm wondering. Penny says he was stopped. Why that's it. Penny, something's wrong with that. He's older than your grandfather thanks to filters and facelifts, says Monica. What? Cameron says Sandy's on a match. Mm-hmm. Too much slackness in RCAP. You better believe that. Penny, are you the Penny that's in that picture? You better identify yourself with a last name, honey child. Because right now the name Penny is like the name Karen. You probably don't want the name. Morning, Miss Carol. RD says it's the colonial way. It was some local, the police would have dug him out of a crab hole to get a chase against him. You tell no lie, RD. You tell no lie. Friends, look out for friends, says Cayman Detailing. Lack of proper training, says Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu. Oh, Cameron says that was too much work for them, Sandy. Yeah, we putting them under pressure to do their job. Imagine. Jim says, cut people off if they appear intoxicated or feel they're serve them too much alcohol. Oh, speaking about the bars, bartenders, business owners with the right to serve alcohol should be held accountable as well. If these people are outside the bars, I mean, do we have that law here? I know that was passed in the States. But I don't know if we have that legislation here at all. Because the bartender's not gonna do it. They're gonna tell you, oh well, I thought that they're going to call a tab or tax. Listen, we need to do better. When y'all see people walking out and half of them can barely walk, drunk as a skunk, y'all need to do better. So Phineas says, I know that lady. She's always cool. Well, tell her if she's so cool that cool people pay their bills. I'm just saying. Cool people. You want to be cool in school? Yeah, you pay your bills. Amanda says herself always drunk. She used to love Royal Palms. Only white man is her type, I've heard. And like I said, I'm not knocking her for liking white chocolate. That's a choice, I guess, that probably speaks more about her insecurities than anything else. But make her go right ahead and like white chocolate. Them Levies, they're from Boston Town, right? Mm-hmm. I've noticed a lot of Boston Towners seem to have a little bit of a issue with self-love. So that manifests itself in that they don't love Black people. They don't love their own. But we're not going to have that discussion today. That's complicated, as they say, the young people say, their status on social media. It's complicated. My status is complicated. Her preference is complicated. But you know, there's a lot of fine-looking white men out there, honey child, that got money, that are good people. They're not drunk and sloppy and not hitting the manager at Macabuca because they don't want to pay the bill. They pay their bills and they don't hit people in the parking lot and they don't drive drunk. And then they don't need you and your drunkenness to be getting out of the car trying to attack people like you're a damn fool. Because I can tell you one thing, Penny, you're a lucky woman. Because a lot of people are not going to care if you're a woman or not. You get up in their face. You look at her. Can barely get out the car. You know, look at her. She look well. So look. Can barely get out. The skirt split so high. Plus she tipsy. Can barely get up. Right, getting up in people's face. She lucky somebody didn't tap her in her head, give her one of them bottom town slaps. Then she would know something. 0 bars hit different, says Leroy. White chocolate is too sweet, says Rita. What you see? White chocolate too sweet. Jerry-Ann, good morning. How are you? She laughing. Lord have mercy. Arrogant, says Jim. Sophia says white chocolate eats anything and they just as fool. Good morning to Emma. How are you? Have a beautiful day. Strong Will says, hey, Sandy, she will marry him. Oh, so he can stay Cayman, but she fooler than him? Oh, God, he can be jobless, honey child. You know you only want him for the money. It can't be for any bullets he carrying in his pants because they barely firing. Pa-ping, pa-ping. They're not going nowhere. So we know for sure that can't be the attraction. And I hear nothing about men from the Netherlands being wonderful lovers. I'm just saying. Oh, Lord have mercy. What a heat. No, sir. When the money gone, she gonna disappear too. Y'all don't worry about that. He can't buy her drinks no more. Cameron says this is why you should always have on wampas and carry a smoke pan if you're planning on finding yourself on Mall Road. Caller, happy Monday to you.
And to you too, Sandy, and to you. Shouldn't he not be reported to the medical board?
Well, here's the problem now. This is why it's important that the police actually do their job. Had they actually arrested him that night and given him a breathalyzer and he'd actually been convicted of a DUI, then the medical board probably could do something. These fools that sit on the medical board, the MDC council, I doubt they're going to be like, oh, you know, legally we can't do nothing. Yeah, we have video footage of him, but we can't do nothing. That'll be where they stand. Now, he's not a practicing physician, so I don't even know if he's licensed by them because he's just a professor at the college. So I kind of think there's probably a loophole there where he's not, you know, I don't think the medical board has to, you know, approve people who are just here for academic reasons. So he's a faculty member. Oh, yes. And somebody clarifies that he's a PhD, not a medical doctor. So the medical board, we can't hold them accountable for this hot mess of a situation. His employers, it's going to fall on his employers to do the right thing.
I hope so before he damaged somebody seriously or killed somebody. And this Penny lives right 3 houses up above me on Northwest Pine Road.
Please tell her to pay her bills. People looking for her.
No, she wouldn't speak. She doesn't speak to me, and me, I'm not white.
Oh, okay. A hot mess.
Yeah.
For her, honey, child.
If these things can slip us by, what is next? What is next? Yep. Anyway,
sound like you got a little tickle in your throat, so I hope you feel better.
Yes, it is. I do have. I think it's a flu, but I'm not feeling all that sick as yet.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, though. Thank you very much, and thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
All right,
Thank
my dear.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Take some honey and lime, honey chill. Jonathan says rules for thee, not rules for me. That's the reality of life across the board here in Cayman Islands. Not anymore, Bobo. Not anymore. CMR is going to even the playing field around you. Like Cameron say, you better get them wampers on. Johan says CMR is the Cayman Islands Detective Agency. How come when locals are arrested and charged for possession of herb, it's a major event and scandal, but persons or celebrities fly into the Caymans and it's all hush-hush. Then they get rushed through the system, pay a fine, and continue with their vacation. This is unacceptable and subtle corruption, in my opinion. Well, Johan, that's not happening around here anymore. We're exposing them all. Go look on the website. Remember the self-entitled narcissistic dentist that was breaching all kind of COVID protocols? We would not have known anything about it. Nothing whatsoever. Go look him up if CMR did not report on it. Remember him? Yes. Let me look and see if I can find him now. This is back in November of 2020. They were only fined $1,000 because their slack legislators were doing nothing. Oh yeah, we gotta increase the COVID fine, blah, 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 blah. And these people come here, they were jumping fence, hoodwinking the security guard, going out for dinner, taking strolls on the beach when the rest of us was locked up to high heaven. They were breaching every protocol, talking about they're here to sell their highfalutin condo. I don't care why you here. And then after the fact, trying to bribe CMR, but we'll donate to a charity of your choice, because they know they couldn't come with a direct bribe, honey Jill. We'll donate to a charity of your choice. I tell them, oh, really? Hear me now. How much money are you gonna donate? I want to hear what they think of me and my value. $1,000 US. I almost spit out my water that day. I'm like, listen, I could wipe my you-know-what with $1,000 US. Not no money around you. To give to charity? Y'all stupid or what? I said, please. I said, listen. The stories of the young Caymanians, as Johan, at least that part, right? When they get in trouble, their stories are right. Yes, so they get put up on the website. They can't come to Auntie Sandy. Tell me, can you take it down? I said, no, honey, Jill. So sorry for you, Macfield, McLean, Ebanks, Solomons, all the locals. Sorry for you. So just because you're an expat, don't think that your ish don't stink and you're not going to be named as well. But you see, when you look at the history of these individuals, he's from Quebec. He is a menace. Always doing the most. Dr. Pascal Terjanian. Yep. Think they can buy their way out of everything and then insult me talking about $1,000 donation. That was an insult. I was like, really? You're all ridiculous. All right. Johan says, Caymankind for some. What about one standard applicable for all? Well, that's the motto that we are going to be operating, that we are not going to be 6 years in. And that's our motto. I don't care who you is. I don't care how much money you make, what you got in your bank account, what you don't have in your bank account. That's neither here nor there to me. I do not care. Okay. Answer these police officers dunks bad, some of them, without a doubt. Donovan says, Sandy, he's a bullet not firing. Well, the money talks, child. That's all I can tell you. Hello, Valerie. Good morning. All right, Damien. Okay. So, Penny, you owe these people an apology. Please have your boyfriend go and fix the car that he damaged on Friday night. Also, the people that you owe money to, please, they would like for you to pay them. They've done a job, and now they expect you to pay. That's normally what happens in the real world, right? Okay. You have contractors come to your house, they work for you, then you need to pay. bills. Go pay your bills, honey, down. All right, let me see now. What are the messages we got coming in? Davis Smith. That her name that she's going by now. What is houses? The houses in West Bay that you fix up? Please, Penny, don't get featured on CMR now for not paying your bills, because that'll be another feature story. Cameron says, brick by brick, we're going to take them down. We're becoming too marginalized now, and it's putting a strain on the people, on the good people who want to do right and want things to improve. And that's the bottom line, right? You can't be around here doing your foolishness. Okay. All right. Last topic of the day. Got upset some Caymanians. Asked me if I care. I need to have a button that I can press says, do you care? And then I can say, nope, don't care. All right. Well, some of y'all, again, don't have no sense. And I hate to tell you, but if you ain't got no sense around you, we're going to have to sort you out. Someone posted, and someone sent it to me on one day last week. I think it might have been Friday. That there was some post and some discussion about an individual's eligibility to run for public office. Now, I don't know why your heads be taking y'all, but clearly it does. And y'all look like you not got no sense. Now, the person screenshot this and sent it to me saying that, let me show y'all now. Somebody wants to sue somebody. I don't even know who they're talking about and who they're planning on suing. Like, I'm not really entirely clear on that. But before you talk about suing people and exposing your lack of understanding, perhaps what you should do is educate yourself a little bit. Okay? So this is what it says. Time to sue the rumps off of some bruts that has been messing with me. Some brutes. Oh, sorry. I will take your friggin' pensions and build my cat sanctuary. At first, when I saw this cat sanctuary, I thought it said, I was reading cabinet secretary. I don't know why my brain was saying that, but I was like, you're going to sue the cabinet secretary? I'm like, what? Anyway, cat sanctuary. Get your lawyers because my writs are ready. I warned them, but they never listened. Okay. Then they have supplied a clean police record to say that this is to certify that as of July 14th, let me open it up on the next screen. Can't really say that. 2023, there are no convictions recorded in the criminal database of these islands against the bearer, Carrie Rosita Whitaker, date of birth, possessor of a CYM passport number. Now, honey child, I don't know why you're putting this up there with your passport number fully disclosed. That kind of is a dumb thing to do, actually. But I guess you're not worried about anybody stealing your passport. But anyway, and people have asked me if I could please address this. Okay. I believe that this centers around the point that Carrie wants to run for public office. And I suppose the question comes up about whether or not an individual who has a previous conviction but now can demonstrate a clean police record is eligible for public office. I don't even know why this is, quite frankly, a point of debate or discussion. But I think what this is really all about is it demonstrates a fundamental lack of understanding. And I am not here to, try to make anybody feel bad. I'm just here to divulge the facts as they are. If you have a police record, and I want you to, I'm going to encourage you to read your Constitution. Not only should you read your Constitution, but you should also read relevant case law that might be very, very specific to your type of a situation. Don't post this stuff. I think it was a public post. I don't know. Don't post this stuff on public platforms like Facebook and threaten to sue people. Again, I don't know who was going to be sued, but I would not recommend doing it and then having people in this community talk about how you don't quite understand what's going on. Carrie says she wants to run for public office. She has the choice to submit her $1,000. They need to increase that fee, by the way. I'm just saying. Run for public office, and they will tell you whether or not you're eligible. Anybody can say they want to run for public office, and anybody, I suppose, in theory, can find $1,000 and run, put forward their name. Well, that doesn't mean that you're eligible to run for public office. There is a difference. Your eligibility will be questioned or challenged by the elector's office, the supervisor of elections, who will be Mr. What's his name now? Mr. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Wesley Howell. That's his job. What I would invite you to do, though, before you make yourself look silly, and before you waste money running for elected office, you need to go read case law. Okay? This is where, folks, you can pick sense from nonsense. Pay attention now. Class is going to take a bit of a legal turn this morning. Okay? We done talked about a lot of other things. However, now this morning, we are going to discuss what is required for you to run for public office if you have a particular type of conviction. I've said it on this show before. I thought it was pretty crystal clear, but I'm going to say it again. You are ineligible to run for public office if you have a dishonesty conviction. The Constitution does not even say that you have to spend a day in jail. So theoretically, you can have a conviction that you never go to jail for, and you will still be ineligible because the nature of the conviction, you will be ineligible to run for public office. Exhibit number 1, Exhibit A, George Ebanks. Okay? George has a conviction for falsifying a document and for fraud. What that means is that he can never, and when I say never, I mean never, ever, 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 never, never, never run for public office. There's no exemptions. Okay? It is what it is. He didn't go to jail for that offense. The courts gave him a slap on the wrist. They said, don't do it again. Stop forging people's signature and stop lying to immigration. It's still a dishonesty conviction. Somebody said, did Carrie go to jail? Yeah, she served jail time. I mean, I think that's pretty common and wide knowledge. It seems to me, based on what is presented here, is that she has a spent conviction, which means that you can get a clean police record. You know what's shocking to me is people don't understand what a spent conviction even means in the real world. So yes, you can apply to have convictions 10 years later taken off your record so you can get a clean police record. The primary reason for that is for you to be able to find employment opportunities, perhaps even travel. However, you know, when you travel into the US and there's a little question there, you apply for a visa, whatever, have you ever been convicted of anything? Even though it's a spent conviction, you can't say yes or you can't say no to that, you know? you better answer it truthfully. Now, here's the thing. Spent convictions don't apply to certain things. Exhibit B, you go to court and you get convicted of assaulting a woman or whatever. You have in the past spent convictions, convictions that weren't recorded. All of that becomes live and has to be brought to the attention, if you're found guilty, has to be brought to the attention of the court. What does that mean, folks? That means that those things actually never really ever go away. For the purposes of you getting employment and perhaps being able to travel overseas, you can have a conviction spent and get a clean police record. For the purposes of the elections law, it stands just like it stands in court. You don't believe me? This is why y'all need to avail yourselves of something called the law. It's very simple. Super, super simple. There is a case exactly on point. Mario Rankin has a conviction for a dishonesty offense. He ran or tried to run for public office. He was challenged and he lost. Y'all need to read what that case said. I'm going to bring it up here. Law class is in session. Constitutional Law 101. All right. Here we go, good folks. This case was brought back in 2017 during the general election. Supervisor of elections against candidate X. Everybody know candidate X was Mario Rankin. There's no, not a state secret. Had QCs representing the Solicitor General's office, Mr. Graham Hampson and Shuluka Tumala, attorneys at law for Hampson Company. The judgment disqualification for election to membership of the Legislative Assembly on the grounds of convictions for dishonesty, whether the respondent spent convictions and rehabilitation under the Rehabilitation of Offenders Law serves to avoid the qualification. This, folks, is where you need to read. Do not post foolishness on social media about you got a clean police record and you know that your conviction has been spent for dishonesty offense when there is case law on point. Caymanians, stop making yourselves look stupid. Okay? Even if you're stupid, keep your damn mouth shut and don't remove any doubt around the community that you're stupid. Okay? This is it now. I don't want to have this conversation. I'm having to have this conversation because y'all not paying attention, you're not reading, and you're not learning. Some of y'all brains need to be spent and recycled and start over. Okay? The very question is, can you be disqualified to be a member of the Legislative Assembly, now it's Parliament, on grounds of a conviction for dishonesty when the conviction has been spent? Huh? You couldn't get more closer because, in law, sometimes you find a case that's 80% similar fact scenario. Not exact. So you're going to argue those differences to try and win your case. This is almost you couldn't get any closer. Same conviction dishonesty. Does a spent conviction count? Yay or nay? It's only 22 pages, this judgment, and I will gladly let anybody have a copy of it that needs to have a copy of it. Okay? So they go through the different sections of the law, what happened, the duties and responsibilities inside of the supervision of the nomination process, yada, 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 section 29 of the law, the respondent having been nominated and the applicant haven't had reason, as further explained below, to believe that he's disqualified under section 29A1 of the elections law, yada, yada, yada. Question for resolution. This is what section 62(1)(e), subsection 1 of the Constitution says. No person shall be qualified to be elected as a member of the Legislative Assembly who, subsection E, subject to subsection 2, is serving or has served a sentence of imprisonment by whatever name called exceeding 12 months. Let me pause. So that's one. If you get convicted, if McKeever Bush gets convicted of rape and he gets a sentence of more than 12 months, okay, that was imposed on him by a court, all right, is serving or has served a sentence of imprisonment by whatever name called exceeding 12 months, you are ineligible to be an MP in this country. All right, that's part of the equation. The other part of it, because some of y'all say, well, we have an MP who was convicted of drugs, back in his youth. How can he be an MP? He was never sentenced for exceeding 12 months. Maybe he got 9 months in jail. I don't know what he got. That's why he's an MP. And you, the people, knew his history and you put him in there. So, obviously you're giving him a second chance. It goes on. In addition to that, has been, now listen to this. Let me continue reading. Imposed on him or her by a court of any country or substituted by competent authority for some other sentence imposed on him or her by such a court, or is under a sentence of imprisonment, the execution of which has been suspended. Y'all understand that? Even if you get a suspended sentence in excess of 12 months, you become ineligible. Or, now this is the part that's relevant to this particular case, or has been convicted by any court in any country of an offense of dishonesty. Let me clarify this. I don't want to have this conversation again. Crystal clear. The dishonesty conviction part does not require you spend a single day in jail. That is how serious the drafters of the Constitution saw a dishonesty conviction, that they wanted to preclude anyone with a dishonesty conviction from ever running for public office. So even if you didn't go to jail, this clearly states has been convicted by any court anywhere in the world. Timbuktu, Saskatchewan, it don't matter. You're not coming back to Cayman with a dishonesty conviction and running for public office. No, not going to happen. So this was the section under which Mario Rankin's disqualification was being questioned. And they say in paragraph 8, let me fast forward the slide. Y'all can read it, kind of read it for yourself, I think. It is significant to be examined. It is of significance to be examined below that this phrase, which I shall by convenient shorthand called the dishonesty disqualification, was introduced as such for the first time on November the 6th, 2009, when the Constitution came into effect. Prior to November the 6th, 2009, and while capital punishment was still part of the Cayman Islands law, criminality-based disqualification was prescribed for in Section 19(1)(e) of the 1972 Constitution. Okay, let's fast forward. These are some of the points that were brought up in this case. Again, if y'all need a copy of it, I'm happy to send you a copy. Okay? While the respondent has not been subject to any term of imprisonment as long as 12 months for either of his two offenses of dishonesty, more than one, we're not surprised. The Solicitor General submits that these provisions, which I should call the imprisonment disqualification, are clearly meant to be both retrospective and prospective, and lend support to the view that the dishonesty disqualification expressed similarly in the past tense, because it says has been convicted. It's also meant to be retrospective in respective dishonesty convictions occurring before November the 6th, 2009. So his lawyer, Mr. Hampson, on behalf of the respondent, argues to the contrary. He relies on the well-established principle recently reaffirmed by the United Kingdom Supreme Court that a statute shall not be construed as retrospective in operation unless such a constitution appears expressly in the words of the statute or arises therefrom by necessary implication. So in other words, this provision came into effect in 2009 in that constitution. The conviction was way before that. Does it still apply? Well, the courts found yes. Let's scroll forward to the judgment. Let's just keep going. It's a very interesting case, and you guys should read it. Like I said, it's only 22 pages. So has multiple convictions for dishonesty. I think they were something to do with theft. I think actually some vehicles or cars or something was involved. They talk about the procedural issues, sufficient evidence. Okay, so that goes into quite a bit of detail there. And we need to we can just fast forward and get to the crux of the matter, the decision. Okay, let's keep scrolling. Analysis by the learned judges. And then we get now to blah, 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 blah. Let me see now. Where does it conclude? Analysis, page 18. Paragraph 57 says that it is, as already noted above, there's no question but that the respondent's conviction of dishonesty are to be regarded as spent. So yeah, he applied and have it spent. He can get a clean police record. And that he acquired the status of a rehabilitated person, generally for all purposes in law as stipulated in section 4 of the 1998 law before the 6th of November 2009. And so therefore the Constitution, before the Constitution came into effect. And as follows, therefore, in keeping with section 50 of the CRSC law, that his rehabilitated status continues unaffected and undiminished. Okay. But as also noted above, this does not mean that the opportunate rights and benefits of rehabilitation were ever or will ever be unlimited. This is what I'm saying. It's a limited right. Even when you go to court, there's another limitation there. The court will hear about your spent conviction no matter when it was. It goes on to say, indeed, the legislative policies of both the 1998 law and the CRSC law are based on a philosophy that recognizes that while rehabilitated persons must be allowed to overcome past delinquencies for which they have atoned, there are competing public interests of such importance that these interests will continue to require the disclosure and citation of otherwise spent convictions or expunged records. Like I said, it's not for everything. Yeah? If you keep reading, they talk about earlier provisions regarding the sentence of imprisonment for 12 months. Disqualification is one which can neither avoid nor attenuated by the rehabilitation effect of a relevant conviction or sentence having become spent or expunged from the records. In other words, for the purposes of a disqualification by operation of law, a spent conviction, this is section 63, this is the crux of the matter, a spent conviction does not result in a disqualification also becoming spent. And this was so even under the 1998 law. And they talk about that law. Thus, the policy of the legislation. I got a call coming in here. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program. Hello? Hi, caller. You're on air. Can I help? Okay. I guess he didn't want to be on air. The former is intended for the protection of the redeemed offender, the latter for the protection of the wider general public, right? The rights and benefits acquired by dint of rehabilitation do not include a right to avoid a limitation of disqualification imposed by operation of law. It's very, very clear. Although the dishonesty disqualification was not in operation during the respondent's period of rehabilitation, his rehabilitation was always subject to limitations by a disqualification imposed by operation of law. Okay. Accordingly, in my view, no real question arises out of the Constitution operating retrospectively so as to infringe a vested interest of the respondent. The respondent never had a right to avoid a disqualification which exists by operation of law, here by operation of the Constitution as a supreme law, simply on the basis of his convictions having been spent. Do we need to go any further, or is it crystal clear? It is a disqualification which certainly limits his rehabilitation in the sense that he is denied that opportunity of other citizens to seek elected office, but that is an inevitable consequence of the philosophy and operation of the legislative regime as it has stood from the beginning and still stands. He was found to not be eligible to run for elected office. So anybody else who has a spent conviction specific, let me be very, very clear, to the offense of dishonesty, you cannot run for public office. I don't care how many clear certificates you show. Let's put that to bed. Leave it alone. There are many other ways in which you can contribute to the good Cayman Islands. Find your niche. It's just not going to be as an MP. All right. Morning, Rover. Cameron says Sandy can really be up on her feelings, though. I just telling y'all the facts, laying it out by law. Cameron says brick by brick, we got to take him down. We're becoming and too marginalized. I think I read that one already. Good morning, Miss Sue. 8 years only, that it for Parliament. Jonathan says Cayman simply does not need or should need anyone convicted of a criminal offense involving dishonesty. That is why it is a preclusion forever for that particular offense. It is the only offense specifically mentioned in the Constitution. I want y'all to think about this, right? Technically, you could be convicted of some sort of manslaughter, murder, taking somebody's life. And if you don't get a sentence of more than 12 months, you could still be an MP. But dishonesty was seen as so pivotal, and we know why when you look at our MPs, as to the caliber of what we're seeking to put in that so-called honorable house. It is the singular category of offenses that is named that will preclude you from ever representing the people of Cayman Islands. They don't care if it was 10 years ago, 25 years ago, or even 50 years ago. Because as we know, most people who have demonstrated and been convicted of a dishonesty offense, that is part of their core personality. I'm not saying people can't be rehabilitated, but the legislators obviously felt that it was so important that it should never, ever give you an opportunity to serve. Sunita says the next election is going to be interesting. We need all new people to help stop corruption and help locals get jobs and stop the permits scourge. People vote wisely. Again, the permit scourge isn't your major concern, but we do need a couple changes around the place. Hi, Cindy is here. Marshall says, who's going to vote for Carrie if she decides to run? What is it she's bringing to the table? She better don't waste her money that she needs. Again, she's running in the Brac. Doesn't take much to get elected to the Brac in any event. But the bottom line really is, unfortunately, she's not eligible. The decision is crystal clear. The law is crystal clear. And so It is what it is. I don't make up the law. I didn't write the Constitution, but you have to have a degree of understanding. So I would suggest there's a case on it. Some areas there might not be case law, and you figure, okay, I can make an argument. I can kind of work it. There's case law specifically on this. A spent conviction for dishonesty. Mario Rankin was found to not be eligible. He was disqualified, and Kerry would be found to be disqualified as well. So, nothing to get upset about. You just have to accept what it is. Miss Brenda says, good morning, Sandra. When employees don't pay pension insurance for their employees, is that also dishonest? In your opinion, should they be eligible to hold office? Well, it's not considered in law a dishonesty offense because of the way the pensions law is written. Many judges have said that in their opinion, it is a form of theft and it should be treated as such. Whereas Brenda, what that requires is the legislators to go back to the drawing books and make it crystal clear that it is theft. By them hiding it into the pension and health insurance law as a separate offense, it's dishonest for sure, but it's not being categorized as such. They need to fix it. Father God, please help anybody that ever fallen out of foul with Auntie Sandy ever. This isn't anything about that. This is about people sending me the stuff over the weekend saying, hey, Sandy, what's the legal position here? And so we have talked about it before in this program. I felt I had a proper obligation to explain to you why I've said the things that I've said. Like I said, I don't know who she's planning on suing, but I know it can't be me because I'm only spitting facts, left, right, and center. The facts are the facts. And again, don't put yourself in a situation where you don't understand what the law says and how it applies to you because you're making these public statements. So Nita says politicians' jobs are the only jobs that exempt and protection in Cayman. All other jobs are up for grabs. No, their jobs up for grabs too. It's just that they're only up for grabs once every 4 years. But their jobs are up for grab, and some of them we need to grab them. We just need better than what's there. It don't make no sense to replace them with something worse. So how can anyone travel after convicted for drug offense? Well, again, if you get your conviction spent for the purposes of travel, that might be okay. You might be able to get, rights to be able to travel and so on. But spent convictions have limitations. That's the bottom line. All right, good folks. Just wanted to clarify, those fine points. I think that they need to change it, Ms. Brenda, without a doubt. One of many pieces of legislation that needs to be amended. Okay, so that's it. If you want a copy of that case law, by all means, let me get it to you. I don't have a problem sharing it. Knowledge is power. And the knowledge is meant to be shared. It's not meant to be hidden from people. It's not meant to, I'm going to keep all the knowledge in my head because somehow that makes me more valuable. Nobody have it. No. We're here to share the knowledge with everybody. It's just a question of whether you want it or not. Left, right, and center, we will share the information. Darlene says a complete sweeping next election. What a hot mess. So rewind, Alejandro, and you hear what I said about spent convictions. And in very clear areas, they are limited. My beautiful folks, let's hope that Dr. Robertus Hilgers can now leave the jurisdiction with his drunk and sloppy self after fixing that man's car. Penny Smith, Levy, we can't deport you because you're a Caymanian. Please see if you can make some better decisions as it relates to the white chocolate that you're choosing to want to be licking on, because it's not all good stuff. Okay, some of it just look like it can be killing you. Also, reach out to the contractors that worked on your house and please see about paying that bill. They would appreciate it. They have workers and people that they no doubtably have to pay. Mr. Jason McLean, You have not had your day in court yet. Accused of being one of the robbers recently. Attempted robbery of Burger King. Attempted robbery at robbery of McRuss, where his wife formerly worked at. Shame, 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 shame on you, sir. You are bringing, an unbelievable amount of shame to the people of the Cayman Islands. And honestly, you got to do better. You have got to do better. Really and truly get it together. All right, my beautiful Caymanians, my beautiful non-Caymanians all over the world we're listening to. Appreciate the love and support. You guys making this the number one show in the Cayman Islands for sure. You guys have a fantastic day. We're going to get some news on that other breaking story. We get all the facts. We're going to ask the right people, ask the questions about what's a real iguan. Y'all have a fantastic day.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels and visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.